Oh, I shared the wrong thing. I should be sharing the Albert Rodeo. There we go. All right.
Following their victory over the cultist Tiga, the group took a much-needed rest, their thoughts still haunted by Tiga's malevolent deeds. As dawn broke through the forest canopy, Tybalt met the dawn in ritual, which revealed a strange vision amidst the campfire's smoke, a haunting display of skeletons wielding swords. Panic began to set in, but a brilliant light suddenly dispelled the eerie apparition, leaving Tybalt both perplexed and relieved. Tybalt returned to the tavern for breakfast, pondering the meaning of this mysterious vision. Ebrath and Vox, driven by newfound resolve, set out to decipher a cryptic map left by the enigmatic Bax. Special lenses revealed a glowing spot on the map, situated halfway between their current location and bustling Neverwinter, along a treacherous coastline with towering cliffs, jagged rocks, and treacherous waters. Meanwhile, Vox stumbled upon a valuable Boy Scout's guide to the Sword Coast, aiding
Oh
in
yeah.
their navigation of the unfamiliar terrain. Back with the group, they discussed their plans. The glowing spot on the map beckoned to them, however. Their priority was ensuring the safety of Emmylou, whom they needed to take to Leyland and preparing adequately for what may lay ahead. The group resumed their journey, and en route they contemplated their faction's tarnished name, the Fandalorians. Unanimously, they decided on a fresh start, renaming themselves the Sword Coast 99, as a symbol of renewed purpose and unity. Their travels took an unexpected turn when they encountered a hooded figure on the road to Leyland, later revealed to be Octavia. Though tensions flared, Tybalt's diplomacy diffused the situation. Octavia informed Ebrath of her correspondence with Szeth the White, speaking of the mysterious Kyber crystals and Szeth's ties to the black market, a mystery yet to be unravelled. Octavia informed them that the Crown has taken notice of the 99's deeds and were officially recognised as a faction with Crown support, and rewarding them with a base of operations in Leyland. Finally, Octavia revealed scrolls which, to everyone's surprise, named Ebrath, Tybalt and Vox as wanted for kidnapping Gantorelion, each bearing a 500,000 gold piece bounty in town. They were safe, but the wilderness held bounty hunters eager to claim their reward. The group understood that their journey was far from over, fraught with challenges, mysteries, and dangers yet to be uncovered.
Good shit.
Yeah, cool. So as you guys came into town, what's her name? Octavia, sorry. Brain fart. Octavia had kind of given you guys kind of a rundown of like the fact that, you guys have been officially recognized by the Crown as somebody that's like an official faction, and you guys will be given a like home base of sorts going forward. She is working on setting up like the headquarters with some like support staff, and advised you guys to speak with the town elders, turn in your request, and do what you need to around town. There are still the ever looming threat of the cults. Most notably, the cult of Talos has what seems to be a headquarters of sorts somewhere along the coast that you guys discovered using the special glasses and the map from Bax. But I think a recharge was kind of in order, and some stuff to do here in town before heading out again. What are you guys doing?
I mean, I'm probably gonna stay with the wagon till it gets to where our base of operations is gonna be,
Okay.
and then start heading to the smithy.
Okay. Is that what everybody else is doing?
Where so Emilu is probably not going to join us, so she's gonna
No, she will thank you guys for getting her to town. She's gonna head off to the inn to check in and get herself a room and kind of lay low and just recuperate after all the shit she's just been through.
then yeah to the smith.
Cool. Um.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Weird issue with Zoom. Sorry, I cut out there for about a minute.
That's
Did we decide what we're doing?
Smithy.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I don't. Not everybody needs to follow me if you don't want to.
Emma Lou's still with us, right?
We just said that she is. Thank you guys for bringing her back to the Leylon and keeping her safe in this treacherous endeavor. However, she needs a beer and a bed, and she is going to go off on her own. And she'll see you when she sees you.
Okay.
So yeah, you guys make your way over to the bazaar kind of area where all the like shops and like vendor stands are kind of like set up. You can see that it's a bit bustling a little bit more than it was before. In fact, as you walk around, you notice that the town itself looks a lot better. You'll recall that when you guys first encountered Leylon, it was kind of in ruins, having just started the endeavor of rebuilding the town to reestablish it. Give me a history check, everybody.
$19.
5.
28.
Dude, Edgar, man, intelligence checks are not your deal, huh?
No, I'm wisdom,
He's a wisdom guy.
Yeah, I realized.
which is funny because also religion is intelligence.
I
which,
know that's so weird. I feel like that would be
That doesn't make any sense.
yeah. I need
Like,
a petition.
it does
D&D one.
Like, because that should be a cleric's main shit, Like, it should fall in line with their
Right.
primary stat.
Right.
Like, I mean, it doesn't really make sense that. I guess it does make sense that history is like intelligence. So like wizards, artificers kind of make sense that way, but like it makes sense that I suck at like perception because wisdom's like is my dump stat,
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess intelligence is like it tracks with remembering
Facts,
and
research.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like artificers, wizards both have to do fucking research for their shit,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sorcerers don't need it because they're innately powerful.
Which I feel like if a cleric is doing a religion check, they would just get advantage on it because if it has to do with something that they're like it has to
Knowledgeable
do with
about.
their deity. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
To
at least
sort of help them out.
I would at least think that like clerics would be able to have advantage on intelligence checks, even though they're wisdom based, main stat, because it is fucking like
Religion.
religion.
It's
Like,
religion. Yeah. In that one specific check for sure, right?
Yeah. They're like the
I would
holy
say, yeah.
wizards.
It's so dumb. Like it's so dumb that that's just the one that doesn't fit with you.
Yeah.
Mhm. All right, cool. Yeah. So you guys remember enough, except for Tybalt, that Leylon was once a well-established town, hundreds of years ago, and it was ravaged by evil forces back in the day and was overrun. And now the Neverwinter and Waterdeep have both kind of come together to put resources into rebuilding it and establishing it as a midway point between the two large cities. And you guys were originally sent here to help with that endeavor. I've said endeavor like 8 times today, and that's kind of annoying. And you guys have a lot of the quests that you guys have been assigned have been for like the rebuilding of Leylon, clearing out the Mage's Tower, which is being refitted as an active mage research lab and library. Establishing safety along the high road and finding the missing patrols, and establishing that safe trade between the lizard folk and Leylon, delivering goats to Phandalin. This is all kind of gone towards the rebuilding of Leylon, and you guys see as you walk around that the buildings are looking a lot nicer. The city walls have been restored and are almost up to snuff, and overall it looks a lot better than the last time you were here. You can tell that progress is being made in the reconstruction of the town. As you make your way over to the bazaar, you see just a lot more life in the town. You see that there are kids kind of playing tag, in the main square, and just general chatter about the town. People going on about their daily lives, and you can see where it's mostly people that are living here are working towards the reconstruction of Leylon itself. So everyone here mostly is like carrying some sort of construction supplies, or there are like bakers and like butchers that are working towards feeding the just the town. Like everyone's kind of working together to do their part for Leylon to rebuild it, and it seems to be working. As you guys come into the bazaar, you hear the hammering of iron near the blacksmith, and you make your way over, and you see a familiar face. You find that there is, what's her goddamn name? Breltora. Breltora is the half-orc blacksmith woman who is engaged to Sergeant Yoram, and as she wipes sweat from her brow, she looks up, and her two bottom like tusks are kind of like poking out a little bit, and her top lip curls up into a smile as she says, "Oh, these are some familiar faces I haven't seen in quite some time. How are you?"
How long has it been since we've seen her?
I would say
Like a month or two?
I would say even like a month. Yeah.
A month, okay. I'll wave to her as I walk in the door and like, hey, glad everything's coming along here. When you get a moment, I have something to show you in regards to what we're talking about last time we were here about magical items.
Oh, cool. Yeah, and she like, you can see that she pulls like a sword off the like anvil, and you can tell that it's a pretty it's a small very like unassuming anvil. You can tell that it's not as large as what you would find in like a normal smithy. You can see that a lot of her equipment is kind of like secondhand and very worn. But despite that, she has very fine like armor up on the wall. There are some swords, some axes, a collections of different metal workings that she's done, from like fine chainmail to like thick plate mail, kind of on display. And you can see that she's been working hard to establish herself as a smith in the town, and In fact, as she is pulling the sword that she is currently working on away from the anvil, you see that there is a glimmer of almost an arcane energy like throughout the blade of the sword as she goes to put it on the wall. And she says, show me what you got.
So I'm gonna walk up to like her workstation, which I'm assuming is like gonna be not exactly right next to the anvil, because I'm sure that's probably like center room.
Mhm.
But maybe wherever near it, and I'll kind of like, keep an eye on that sword and be like, wow, I think you really are gonna be up to this task. Is that a +1?
She says, yeah. After we last talked, I really wanted to try to just establish myself as more than just a normal smithy. If I can get one leg ahead of competition, anything I can do to help. And, like you said, I do wield some magic, and I just thought this would be a good way to try to raise my value, raise my stock as a smith, and just it's taking some time. I'm not the most educated person when it comes to the arcane, but I'm trying. I'm trying here and there. I'm doing my best to figure it out.
I mean, with what you've done, with what you have, I think this is gonna go better than I anticipated. We didn't end up getting that anvil from Tiga's, right? We didn't take it, right?
No.
Because it was too heavy.
Yeah.
Okay. But I think from what we discerned was I got enough information from my notes that we should be able to. Okay, I remember now. Okay. So I'm gonna pull out like my journal and say, do you have like a notebook or anything? I think we're really gonna want to transfer what I have to your own notes so you can keep it with you while we're out traveling.
And she says, yeah, I'm sure I could scribble something down. What do you have in mind?
Um, okay, if you're at a good stopping point, let me just show you what I have. So, I'm gonna open up my notes in the journal that, I'm sure it's a few pages of notes that I took while we were at Tiga's workshop, just basically outlining not only how to create decently powerful magical items, but my notes outlining how I believe we could move enchantments, basically deconstruct an item and move its enchantments either to a fully new item, or the other idea that I'd been working on since traveling from, what was that inn called?
The Wayside Inn.
The
Wayside Inn.
wayside, yeah.
Since leaving the Wayside Inn, I'd added another couple pages of notes outlining what I believe would be the best process for not just creating a new item with that enchantment, but possibly putting that enchantment onto an existing magical item, and how it would be possible with the use of dragon shards, either from the deconstructed magical item or free-formed ones that we could potentially find in the future. And I'm sure this would take some time, and I would just be like, yeah, so here's what I got. And okay, so this is the workshop, and I'll have like a diagram of the workshop that, or like Tiga's workshop. I'm like, this is what they had. I believe these are what she was using. She was using that to infuse this and taking this. And I'm almost positive, I'm not sure because I didn't see her in action, but I'm pretty positive that you could do this by deconstructing any type of magical item, and you'd be able to move that enchantment onto this, either, with a new weapon, or, and I'm gonna go to the back and be like, or with enough magical energy, with using dragon shards, of course, you could move it on to an existing magical item and imbue it further. I'm like, well, what do you think?
And she says, Ebrath, this is tremendous. How did you do all this? How did you find all this?
Well, we're at the Wayside Inn, and they have a tremendous blacksmith there. I don't know if you've heard of her, Tiga. Her last name escapes me, but she's phenomenally capable and talented. Turns out, bit of a bad guy. So we killed her, but she left her workshop intact. So I was able to kind of see what she had been doing. And after analyzing the magical energies in and around her workshop, especially her anvil, which she had imbued pretty powerfully, and just with, some of my own research that, working with dragon shards over the years, just putting those together on the last couple days travel, I mean, it should all work. It's theoretical. I haven't had a chance to do anything with it yet, but it should work. The math's right. We just need, the rest of the recipe.
And she says, well, this is tremendous. I mean, well, what did you have in mind? What are you thinking? Like, what are you working on?
Well, okay. So two things. First, and I'm gonna look over to like Vox and just kind of gesture and be like, so first thing, he has a magical weapon.
Yeah, and I'll step in. It's good to see you, Brotora.
Yeah, you as well. Thank you.
We've helped you in the past. We helped you bring Jessup home, and I think really we could use your help this time around. Based on everything Ebrath's describing to you, I have this flail, and I grabbed out of my bag. This flail has taken dozens, if not hundreds, of lives. There's a very heavy weight here, and certainly some energy that I can't begin to describe. I'd like to continue to use this, but it's not really my style. And so I can barely, you see that I'm barely able to lift it. It's bludgeoning things isn't really my style. I'm more of a shoot 'em, stab 'em kind of guy. I was hoping you could help me transform this into something, and maybe based on whatever that's telling you, preserve what you can. That it's this handle is beautiful, and it's I bring it onto the table and I show Brotora. It's a +2 flail, so I assume it's really, really well made. So I will, emphasize the design on the handle. I think actually at one point we said it may have had some shards in it. I don't remember if that's accurate or not, but
well, it's we established that anything that is magical, so +1 or unique weapons, has at least some sort of magical.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
she says this is fantastic. Please put it down here on the anvil. Let's see what we're working with.
And I'll set it down, and let's just tell Brotora, just make sure you preserve what you can from this, and while still transforming it. But I'd still like to not forget where this came from. And the energy and the monstrousness behind it. I need to remember that. Please do what you can to preserve it.
Sorry, go ahead.
You go ahead.
I was gonna say, so Vox, actually, to that point, I've been thinking about what you said and what you described. I've actually done a couple sketches while I've been working through my notes. I don't know if this will work for you, but I'll turn to the most recent page of my notebook, and in it you'll see a diagram of a weapon that looks like this. It should be popping up in our Zoom chat.
Oh shit. I didn't even know you could do files there. Oh
I
yeah,
just
that's pretty
copied it.
cool. It's pretty
I just
fucking
copy.
cool.
You can't do normal files like that. You can just copy.
Okay.
So I'll say I don't know if that'll work, but in going what he's saying, you can use, maybe you can't use the full handle, but you could kind of whittle it down and have the shaft of, or the haft of the flail be your handle for this weapon.
This looks fantastic. Thank you for putting this together, Ebra. Braltora, I don't know if you can do something like this. If you can, that would be fantastic. If you need to hold on to this for a little bit, I understand. This is no easy task. And this is all very new to you. I'll leave it with you for now.
Yeah,
Please
and
do what you can.
you'll see that Braltora actually places the flail on her anvil, and she holds her hands out kind of about a foot over the flail itself. And you'll see that she kind of like mutters a few words to herself, and then her hands explode in a dazzling show of flame and fire as her hand, excuse me, her hands are engulfed in flames as she brings them together and kind of puts them in like a bit of a prayer stance. You'll see that the flame withdraws into her hands, and her hands just maintain a very bright and hot glow to them as she holds them just about a few inches off over the weapon itself. You can see that the dragon shard crystals inside the weapon are now dazzling in response to the light of her magic arcane kind of hands that she is, as she's kind of like going down the length of the flail and kind of inspecting all parts and seeing just where the magic dragon shards are kind of embedded into the weapon itself. And she says, "Oh man, this is more than I'm used to working with. Where did you get this, Vox? This is insane."
This came from my arch nemesis.
Which is why
we had
we
a grand battle, and I ripped it from his cold dead hands after he spent years, if not a decade, tormenting me with it.
Well, I hope you got him back for that, because this is worth all of that struggle. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be I can't think of the word. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to you and your plight, but man, I mean, this is incredible. I'll do what I can. This might be above my pay grade. I'm not sure if I can work with something this powerful, but I will promise to do my best. And if anybody has time to help, I would love some extra help. This might take me a bit, but I can get cracking.
Yeah, I mean,
Thank you.
I can stay and help you. I actually have something that, if we can accomplish that with, enough time to spare, because I don't see us being in town for much longer than a couple of days before we have to move on. I have something else I would like for us to work on. It might be, so this is going to be something a little more into the other thing I was saying. I'm going to pull out my staff of defense and say, what I was hoping, I need my hands for, the primary way I use my magic, which is cannon and my my wand. If I use this, I have to have it in hand. I wanted to see if we could deconstruct it and add the abilities of this staff to my armor. That way I don't have to hold it.
She says, "Well, that's interesting. I've never thought about doing it that way. I've always worked with the innate magical presence in the items themselves, but to deconstruct and then rebuild, you like the way you think. I think we can work a few things out together. This is going to be tremendous." And you see like a light kind of sparkle in her eye, you know, as she is like, you can see her like cogs are turning and like her gears are like coming into place and things are clicking into where they need to be. And she's like, oh, this is going to be huge. This
She's
is,
having she's
yeah,
having a brain blast.
yeah. She was like, I don't know who you guys, I know you guys were repping like the Thunderbolts before. I don't see them anymore, but I think we can establish something with like, you know, together. And I don't know if you guys have like an official armorer or anything, but like I would love to, if you guys just give me a shot, I would love to be your official you know, smith of sorts. I mean, I think you guys have done so much for us and the town, and if I can just get my name out there, I would love to help you in any way I can, just to kind of help each other.
You know, I think that might work out. And I look at the rest of the group and like, coincidentally, Leylon's gonna be like kind of our base of operations from here on out. So, um, yeah, I mean, I know the rest of the group probably has stuff to do, but I mean, I I would love to be able to stay, you know, in your smithy for as long as I can over the next couple of days and transcribe my notes to you and help you work this out until we kind of get the hang of it.
And she says, did you say that that other smith, her smithy is still intact?
Yeah, no, honestly, that's a cool idea. Why don't we, if you have time, I could go with you up to the wayside and we can try and bring some of our supplies over, especially the anvil. It's, I mean, I know with your ability, I can feel the magic emanating off of your anvil, but the other one was like a solid 2 tons and it literally dripped with magical energy.
Yeah, Brath, it may not be wise for you to leave town alone.
Well, I mean, maybe not alone. I'm sure we could get a couple people. I mean, it won't take that long to get there and back, right?
She says, well, that might be something that we would have to complete over time, but I don't foresee this being an obstacle that is too strong or too hard for us to overcome.
Just let them know we sent you. I'm sure they'll allow you to go in there and take what's left of her workshop. Whatever you
Was
need.
the most significant part was just like the anvil, right? Or was there a bunch of stuff that looked way better than what she has here?
Well, she had other tools. We didn't really examine those, but for sure her anvil was like crazy.
Yeah.
And it weighed like a couple 100 pounds, right?
It weighed like 2 tons
Okay.
because it was like a gigantic, like, you know, 3-4 feet across, like a foot and a half width and shit. It was huge.
I'm gonna pull out 200 gold and set that down for Breltora. Use this as you see fit. We are gonna need more from you in the coming days and weeks and months. Use this however you must, whether it's to help with the task at hand here or whether it's to get better equipment. And I'll put the 200 gold there on her table.
And she says, you guys got yourself a deal. Thank you. Thank you for everything. Yeah, I'm going to get started on this right away. And if there's anything else, you know, if you guys ever have any other ideas or need any more supplies, I mean, you know where to find me.
And I'm gonna take off my adamantine half plate
Mm-hmm.
and just leave like, you know, my normal like robes and shit on, my little tunic, and then put it kind of like find a space on like a work table and then lean my staff of defense against the wall next to it. That way, you know, the moment we're done figuring out Vox's thing, we can get going on that. And I'm probably gonna plan on, actually, before I commit to staying here, obviously, I'm at your disposal if you need help. We're gonna be in town. But Tybalt, do you think you'll have need of me in the Wizard's Tower to try and help set up that teleportation circle, or do you think you can handle it?
I'm not sure that they'll be ready, but I don't think we'll need your assistance. But in case we do, you have the sending stone, correct?
Yeah, Vox has one, I have the other. And then you can also cast sending to me if you need to. Or message, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so Vox, just hold on to the sending stone. I'll be here working on the projects, helping her get going as best as possible, and hit me up.
If you're staying, and if time permits, I was hoping you could work on one other item. And Tibble takes off his amulet and his cloak,
Mhm.
and he says, I'd like to have the properties of this cloak to be mapped to my amulet. The amulet is dear to me, and I didn't want to leave it in, no offense, foreign hands, but I trust you at breath that nothing will happen to it.
Yeah. What does that cloak do? And as like I'm asking, I'm already taking off like my outer robe to just leave like the tunic and like leave my arms bare and like kind of like folding up whatever sleeves I have. And I'm like, all right, let's get to work.
It just allows, there's properties in the weave that allow additional protection. So either, well, and I look at the cloak and I say, currently I need to attune to it. I need to sort of bond with it. But perhaps you can work on the properties within the cloak so that I don't have to bond with it. It just works. Or you can map the properties of the cloak onto the amulet. I'm not well versed in these kind of things, but take a look and let me know what you think.
Yeah, I mean, so from my notes, I think it'll work. If we're gonna move it over from your cloak to the amulet, I'm gonna have to completely deconstruct the cloak. Is that okay?
Yes,
Okay.
I'll just have to find a new one for for myself.
Okay, yeah, just because that's kind of the magical weave is a part of the item itself. So in order for me to gain access to the enchantment, I have to at a molecular level deconstruct the item.
Perhaps we can send a replica be made of the cloak without the magical properties. I got it through the Order of the Gauntlet, so it provides
Oh,
me
okay.
a status.
Yeah, well then okay, so we'll handle Vox's order first, then we'll work on yours and mine, and while we're doing Vox's, I'll sketch up a I'll sketch up the specifications of your cloak, and I'm sure we can find someone in town to make one for you.
Very well.
And
appreciate
Braltora kind of clears her throat and says, I appreciate your vote of confidence. However, I must be upfront with you. This is going to take me some time. I'm, having to deconstruct and then reconstruct. It's gonna take me some time. So I think it might be best that you hold on to your items for now. I can start on the flail, but I don't want your items to just be sitting on a shelf while I work on other things. So once I complete Vox's new item, I will be able to take on more. But
Sure.
until then, I don't want to deprive you of possible resources.
Well then, Tybalt, why don't hold on to your cloak? Why don't you see if you can see a clothier here, have him start on a replica of it. That way that's ready to go by the time she's ready to take on your cloak.
I think that's a great idea.
And I was like, I'm fine with my items staying here because I'm gonna stay and help. So
All right.
and I'm just gonna
This
get
is
to
the-
fucking tinkering and shit.
The wizard.
Lizard?
The gizzard wizard.
King Gizzard. All right, cool. Yeah. Beltora thanks you guys and kind of reestablishes the fact that she's she kind of says, we'll be in touch about seeking out the other smithies or the other smiths workstations and we'll figure that out together. I think we can rustle up a few wagons and get some. She says, I'll have what's his fucking name? I know it's Jessup, but I wanted to use his first name.
Vester Jessup.
Yeah, she says, I'll have Vester get a couple men to help with.
I thought her husband was Joram.
No.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Vester, and then real quick, just to kind of remind everybody, there's also Roger Jessup that's in Neverwinter.
Okay.
And he sells wagons and he can hook us up. I was looking through my Jessup notes.
Oh yeah.
That's so funny.
What?
He's the one that got all aged because of going into the cave.
Ooh, okay.
What? Hold on. What cave?
You have a whole you told us the whole thing about how he wasn't that old, but then he was old. And apparently like overnight or wherever he found hold on, what did it say?
Where is this from? I don't remember this.
This is from last November.
Damn, that was a year ago, bro.
What were we
Yeah.
doing in November?
Well, this is when we first encountered Evil Blast Ascendus. And so the whole thing with the dad was he wasn't that old, but then he was in his 50s. Then he came back one day and he was old. He had found a ruined city, mentioned a really angry little lady that liked plants and was always hungry. So this is all
Okay.
canon.
Okay, yeah. I do kind of okay. Yeah, because that was Lechuga.
Right.
That's funny because he sells wagons. That's hilarious.
Why? Because he's a Jessup?
Yes, exactly why.
That is fucking hilarious. God damn. No one's gonna get that. If anyone stumbles upon this stream, no one's gonna fucking get that reference.
Yeah, that's hilarious, man. I'm funny, and I totally forgot. I just made myself laugh with my own joke from a year ago.
Damn. I don't even know if I caught that in the moment. And I have the biggest tie to the fucking Jessup's here.
I know.
I don't remember that, so I don't think I caught it in the moment. That's fucking
You might
funny.
not have been there because that first time when I encountered Ascendus, you weren't part of that session.
Yeah, you know what? I don't remember anyone aging up, so maybe I had to skip that.
Yeah, I think you weren't around for that one.
That makes sense. Okay. I feel like that's something I would have remembered.
For sure.
But I didn't even remember it. So, all right, cool. Yeah. So Beltora kind of like wishes you well and reaffirms that give her a couple weeks and she'll be able to have something new for you, Vox, and we'll coordinate the transferring of tools and the anvil and stuff from the Wayside Inn. She starts getting like a letter drafted right away, and we could say that in your spare time, Ebrath, you can spend whatever time you want here with her and working on things.
Yeah,
I'll going
stay.
forward. Yeah. Is there anything else you guys want to do in town?
Yeah. we still needed to go talk to the council and tell them what happened with all of the lizard people. I mean, I have it in my notes. We haven't talked to them. Apparently, it's been a while since we've been back.
Well, you guys have resolved the lizard people thing. That one was with Brel Tora, actually. That was her quest that she gave you guys. Private.
Yeah, but there's we needed to brief them on the sacrifices that were happening too with Tiga and
Yeah, you guys haven't done any of that. So
correct. So
I think the last thing you guys did in town was the lizard people, and then you went off up to Fandolin again.
Yeah, well, I mean, at this point, are we ready? Like, we've been traveling for a bit, right? And how long is the road?
It's about like I would say maybe like a week.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'm fancying a nice hot meal and some rest right now.
Are we're gonna rest first and then we're gonna talk to the council?
Either or.
Okay. I say we can, because I think we were able to get a long rest.
We were, but I always like to stop at the tavern and check on things when we're in town.
We can stop. Yeah, we can stop by there first and see if there's what the latest news is
Yeah.
in the town. Okay.
Yeah. So you guys are stopping at the tavern.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, give me 1 second here.
And I definitely want to ask, at least those that we trust in the tavern about the wanted signs and if there's been any like hint of that going on in town. I know Ronnie mentioned like we're safe, but they may have heard something from travelers or, you know, whatever. That way we kind of know how big of a threat it is.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think as we're walking over there too, I haven't really had any good opportunity to talk to Gon. So I think when we landed our last session, that's when Octavia told us about the wanted posters. So I think I'm just gonna check in with Gon. How are you doing, man? What is this about? How do you feel about this?
So during this whole time, Gon has been accompanying and kind of keeping an eye on things and noticing, the group is ongoing to improve things, improve armor, weapons, whenever there's a moment though, Gon is kind of sucked into his own head, kind of just thinking of what's going to happen, the idea of getting caught and the idea of going back to his family. But in those moments, he also thinks of other ways to be, I guess, discreet and also kind of keeping an eye on just like internally what he wants to do and the plans that he wants to make moving forward. This is all internal, so he's not really putting this out there. It's more so like he's there but not there, kind of a thing.
I think I probably would have noticed too that Gon's like particularly broody, right?
I think Vox knows the thing or two about being broody.
Just a bit.
Yeah, in this moment, I'd say, Gon's like half paying attention, half still just thinking about things over in his head, especially now that there's a bounty. So
yeah,
there's always that like extra paranoia of, are we being followed? Like, is there something else going on? Like, who are these people? Like, why are we just trusting this person? Even though, they're a person we've met before, and we've had a repertoire with, but still that there's that little paranoia already set in with Gon.
Okay.
Give me like 2 minutes. Sorry, I'm getting
Okay. I guess, noticing that it was kind of an indirect answer and Gon's just kind of aloof, I would, I'd say, sort of reassuringly, even though he's probably not paying all that much attention, you're one of us. We're not going to let anything happen to you, and we're not going to let them take you back. I know it seems to me like that's the last thing you would ever want to do, Gon. We'll make sure nobody takes you. Don't worry about that.
And even though Gon is not looking directly at Vox, he lets him know that he's paying attention by answering back and saying, "Oh, I know. I just got to be sure myself, And I guess without really skipping a beat, Gon kind of goes back into his head and trying to plan things like making up a scenario if they get caught. What his plan is, what's the action that he would take, and the group and the composition of it and how they could help him out and stuff like that. But more so kind of just doing that for reassurance and also as a defensive I guess mechanism. I don't really know what you would
Like
want to call that.
distraction kind of. Okay.
Yeah. But there's a moment where Gon snaps out of it again, and he looks at you, Vox, and notices you still looking at him, and and Gon will say, thanks. Just thinking about some things, making some plans, possibly.
Well, let's get a temperature gauge for how things feel. I think that's going to be important, and hopefully, it's not as big of an issue as we initially thought it might be.
Okay. So you guys make your way over to the Umber Holt Shell Tavern. It's just on the outside of town, just on the other side of the town walls here. And you see that it is a pretty busy day. I mean, we're about like midday now. The barkeep is there. There are some like patrons that are in the town in the tavern, having their lunch, having some beers. What are you guys doing?
So the innkeeper is Aelion Malwen, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I think I'd kind of settle in. I don't want to rush in and start interrogating people or anything. I think we come in and find a table and start off with maybe some. Well, what time of day are we talking about here? Is this later in the day, or are we like?
It's like midday. It's like I would say like 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
Okay. Yeah, we'll find a table big enough for everybody. Is Octavia still with us too?
No, she has gone off to do her own thing.
Okay. So yeah, pretty small group today. We'll go and find a table that can accommodate the 4 of us, or at least I will. And greet Aelion if I never was clear on the the gender, but I'll greet Aelion in gender neutral terms. Aelion, how have you been? Wait, could we please start with some drinks here, and maybe you could tell us about any goings on in the town as of late.
And Aelion says, welcome, travelers. It's been quite some time since I've seen your lovely faces. Anywhere you'd like to sit, please pull up a chair. I'll have some drinks right over.
Sounds good. That's we've had a long ride back into town, so we could definitely use a little morale boost here.
Yeah. Well, you know what I say. The drink is the morale boost everyone needs.
Damn right.
And you can see he's kind of like shouting some words to like the back kitchen area, and is pouring some beers. And he looks up and he says, beer ale okay for everybody, or anybody need anything a little bit stronger? Anybody need anything a little bit lighter?
Ale is fine.
Beautiful. I'll have those right up. And you'll see that he kind of starts placing drinks on a tray and walks over and sets them down in front of you guys. Are you guys like at the table?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll even just like
How busy is it in here?
It's not busy. It's not terribly busy. There are some patrons here that are like I said, having their lunch, drinking a few beers at the bar. I don't have tokens for everybody, but it's it's enough that you don't have to wait for service. I guess
Okay.
that's the best way to describe it. But there are I'd say about like 5 to 10 other people in here just kind of enjoying themselves, enjoying their meals, having a beer.
You said this is a little bit outside of town, right?
Yeah, it's just like on the outside of the wall. Like you can actually see here on the map that it's just outside the walls
Got it. Okay.
to the north part of town. And Aelion comes over and says, wow, it's been quite some time. What have you beautiful faces been up to? And he kind of like reaches out and like strokes Vox's like chin a little bit.
Damn.
That definitely catches me off guard. I just kind of like
You're like, yo.
flinch away a little bit. I'm like, okay.
That's hilarious.
But Aelion's always kind of like that, right? Just really flamboyant and like.
Correct.
Well, we just got back. We've had a hell of a couple of days here, a couple of weeks even. There's a lot going on. There's a lot to do. And we have a long way ahead of us, Aelion, but it's been a rough ride back. I was wondering if you've heard any buzz around town about somebody that might be looking for me.
Oh, well, I'm always looking for you, Vox. I've always got my eye out for that door, just hoping you'd walk in, and today's my lucky day.
Not like that, you little horn dog.
Dang.
Oh, you know me. I'm just playing. But
Bro, Vox, don't you want to get your rocks off?
Well, remember, we went over the whole explanation of like how that happens.
Aelion leans forward and says, "Oh, please do explain."
Wait, am I here? Did I stay at the blacksmith?
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, I thought I was staying with her, but unless she was like confident she could get through it with just my copying my notes down.
No, she was basically just telling you that like she was gonna it was gonna take her time and
But she could work off my notes.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Then yeah, I'll stick with the party then.
Yeah. I mean, there's no reason.
And I definitely said that out loud then instead of meta.
Yeah.
God damn.
And he says, well, I do have a bit of troubling news. And he says, although I'm sure you might be aware, there's quite the bounty out for your pretty little faces. And he looks over at Gon and he says, seems like somebody misses their baby boy.
I mean, can you blame him with that face?
Not at all. It's nice to look at.
Has anybody been talking about it in town?
He says, there was quite a hustle and bustle when the posters first went up, but as you know, the 500,000 gold is a bigger bounty than most folks are used to seeing. Oftentimes, it's bandits on the road, crime lord here and there. At most, maybe 20,000 gold for the worst criminals. 500,000 gold. Well, that is very tempting.
Well, you better keep your temptations in line, Alien.
Well, you know me, temptations aren't always are usually my weak point. And he kind of winks at you a bit.
Damn. Well, what does Alien look like? Is he that fucking bug behind the fucking bar counter? Or what?
No. He's a tall, slender human man with long hair, kind of pulled back into like a ponytail, but with like wispy little strands in front that kind of like frame his face. Very androgynous is how
Got
I
it.
would describe him physically.
He looks like an anime character.
Kinda, yeah. He's very like lithe and like has a softer way about him than let's say like cis males.
Yeah.
You know, and he is, yeah, I mean that's kind of it.
Yeah, my notes say that like there's one side of the head that's shaved, and I think the rest is like long hair.
Yeah, he's got like the undercut kind of deal.
Well, that's certainly a little unsettling.
He says, well, don't you worry your pretty little head. After some deliberation, it seems like Griselda thought it best that we not humor these wanted posters for your safety and for the towns. We don't want unnecessary attention brought to us, and I'm sure neither do you.
Well, thank you. I mean, I do appreciate it, especially after what we've done to not only help the town, but I mean, it's kind of become a little home away from home for us.
Oh, absolutely. And if you insist, Ebrath, you can thank me later.
Look, this is very, very flattering. But I actually don't even have a dick, so it's not gonna get you very far.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. We can find ways to make it work.
I mean, I'm good, man, but I appreciate you. It's very, very, very flattering. And like, he'll kind of blush a little bit.
Yeah. Well, if you would like, I would love to show you how much I appreciate you.
Jesus Christ. I'm good, dog. Appreciate you though.
So when we saw the posters, because I think Octavia actually showed them to us, right? Were they like pictures of us, or did they show Gontarellian at all?
Yeah, so the pictures are of you. Like each individual has their own poster with a small kind of like rendition of what Gon looks like, kind of like in the corner for reference.
So we have like
Okay.
One Piece wanted posters.
I guess, yeah, I don't know.
Like
if
it's
we
like
have wanted
fucking
posters.
wanted, big old fucking, or like do you ever watch like Seven Deadly Sins?
Yeah, I did watch. I didn't watch a lot of it, but I did watch some of it.
But do you remember how their wanted posters were all like the gnarly versions of them? Like them looking all fucking like tough and shit.
No, I would say they're just like sketches, you know, to the best
Okay.
of a sketch artist's ability. You can see where like, you know, it doesn't necessarily like capture Vox's complete visage. It just looks like a bunch of rocks, kind of like with a face on it. Like, yeah, like Ebrath's, yours is like a caricature of what like gnomes are. It has you in like a pointy hat, and so they're not entirely accurate, but close enough. You can tell they're a little bit like crudely drawn, but they get the job done essentially.
Got it. Yeah, wanted dat boy. So good. Bro, just make that guy made of rocks and make him blue. That's fucking Vox right there.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yep.
That's hilarious. Who fucking made that? Wanted dat boy.
And it's at the top too, which I guess people are using.
That just reminds me of like the dat boy with like the frog on the unicycle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh shit, what up?
Oh shit, what up?
So good.
That boy. Yeah, and so Aelion says, well, what brings you all back into town? It's been quite some time. It's good to have you here.
Well, I mean, we got kind of pulled away. Like, obviously, we've been doing some things for the town. And we ended up getting pulled away in a couple different areas. We had to go up to Phandalin and help them out for a little bit of time. And that kind of happened without us being able to come back and check in and give our report of some of our previous things we've done. So we wanted to stop back in and regroup, refuel, report back in before we head out again and to the next leg of our journey.
He says, oh, speaking of Phandalin, give me 1 second. And he runs off to the kitchen and comes back and sets down a couple of different like steaming green loaves. And you can see that they're accompanied by a little skull-shaped butter with like some knives to cut the bread. And he says, we just started getting these in and they're fantastic, let me tell you.
Oh, I'm gonna look over to the rest of the group and look over pointedly to Vox and say, Vox, and okay, so like, just to paint a picture, I'm standing on the seat of my chair.
Okay.
But I'm gonna lean forward, put my elbows on the table, and kind of like put my chin on my hands and be like, hey, didn't you say you had some sort of like, you're kind of responsible for bringing these into the area, right? I kind of remember you're like the brother of, or at least they called you brother of the gnomes who kind of brought this into Phandalin, right?
That's more or less correct, yes. I certainly had a part to play in getting this to the region.
Yeah, I remember
you expanded now.
You were real upset about it. I remember.
Well, the gnomes are a little different than what I'm used to, but in the end, it worked out.
Dog, you did a full-on mafia shakedown and enjoyed.
I did.
You just started breaking shit in their shop. And then the moment they brought the gold, you're like, my brothers.
It's a protection fee.
Yeah, exactly. That shit was so funny. Oh my god. And I just like start laughing and I pull apart a little piece, like butter it, pop it in my mouth. How much temp HP is that?
I don't know, bro. +3.
Nice.
I see Fiona's adapting well.
Who?
The cat, Fiona.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fiona. So do you just have her like full time now?
Yeah.
The buildup.
Bro,
The
that
buildup was
buildup,
unreal.
that buildup was wild. Just for up.
Yeah.
My hands are full. I can't. I
The
couldn't get to the mute button.
the unintentional comedic timing was flawless.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's chilling, as you can see.
Yeah. Yeah, she looks happy as hell.
So Aelion says, well, what's next for you folks? You guys are always off running into new adventures.
Well, I think our next step is to go meet with some of the town elders here and brief them on what's been going on. And we need to garner support and some resources. We have, as I mentioned, we have a long road ahead of us. We have some tough fighting to get through, a lot of traveling. Now's the time to sort of prepare ourselves for what's to come, as we tend to do.
Yes, that sounds lovely. I think that's right up your alley, and I know that you're very well liked here in Leylon, and Griselda and the rest of the council would be happy to have you report in, and we're here to help however we can.
On that note, I pull out, or I don't know who has the maps, but I'll ask whoever has the map to pull it out. And
yeah, I had it last because I think I took it from you so I can mark it.
Okay, so we pull out the map, and I will say, Aelion, we are gonna have to be traversing some very difficult terrain here in this area, and I point to where the along the coastline where there's the jagged rocks and cliff sides, and there's supposed to be like some really treacherous water and stuff like that we know we're gonna most likely have to get through. Do you know where we might find some resources or anywhere that we can get some equipment to help us with this?
He says, well, I don't know much about that sort of thing. I think your best bet would be to speak to Ms. Valdi Estepar. She is overseeing the town's fishing industry and docks, and she might be able to give you a bit more information about that. You could most likely find her over at the Quayside.
Wayside?
Quayside with a Q.
Oh, is that like the bar next to the docks?
No, it's just kind of the general area for the docks.
Okay, and her name is Valdi what?
Valdi Estepar.
Estepar, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for the lead. I'll see what I can do there. I appreciate that.
Yes, of course. She would have more information about any sort of sailing arrangements or trade along the coast by way of water. She oversees the docks and the fishing industry there, and can arrange things of that sort.
Very good. Well, with that, Aelion, maybe we can get some food. I don't know what your offerings are today, but I'd love to get some food in my belly. And we'll hang here for a minute if there's anything else. And if not, then we'll, have our food and be on our way.
He says, well, food's not my name, but if you'd like, I could be in that belly.
Oh my God. I just gave Aelion that, really look.
Tibble just chimes in and says, hey, and remember, if 500,000 gold gets too tempting, is your life really worth that much?
He turns to you and he says, well, Tibble, life's a risk, Cardinal.
Can Gon try and sneak behind him?
Sure, yeah, go ahead and give me a stealth check, I suppose.
Are you trying to get like into the kitchen?
No. Well, I mean, I just want to stand behind him to like scare him. Stealth, you said?
Yeah.
Where's the stealth button in this contraption?
I'm gonna use my mage hand to help him out.
Okay, sure. Yeah,
Whatever
go ahead and
he's
do
doing.
stealth with advantage.
Hand?
How are you in what way is your mage hand helping?
I'm looking to see what Gon is looking to do and sort of assist him, because Gon is like sneaked up on people in the past, so it's Tibble is sort of like helping by knowing kind of what he's up to. So
Yeah, I would even say
once
like
he,
maybe like causing like a bit of a distraction to keep his eyes somewhere else.
yeah, or even like, you know how you like flick people's ear from behind them so that they like look over
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So what did you get, Gone?
A 10.
Okay, and yeah, you know what? I'll say that with the assistance of Tybalt, his eyes are distracted, and so you're able to get behind him just fine.
Okay. So being directly behind him, I will just whisper into his ear and say, So the last words he said was what? Because Tybalt said, "You got, if the 50,000 gets tempting, is it really worth
He
your
said
life?"
life's a risk, Garnan.
He said what?
Life's a risk, and they called him Garnan.
Oh, okay. So I'm right behind him, and I'll just whisper into his ear and say, "I really hope that risk is worth it."
And he'll do the what's his name? He'll do like the Dwight whenever like Angela pops in, like, oh Jesus Christ,
Oh yeah.
and he's like, oh, don't worry, Con, don't worry, I'm only joking.
And and I'll step away, just like nothing happened, like that's normal, and just say, I'll be watching you. And just as I'm slowly walking away back to my broody wall where I lean on, just say,
Yeah.
watching you.
And he says,
Always watching.
He says, oh, Gone, you know how much of having a crowd does to me.
Can somebody fuck this guy already?
I stop.
He's an equal opportunity lover, okay?
I stop when he says that, and I walk back towards him and get real close to him. And then I slap him across the face.
And he says, oh, you got a rough one, huh? Yeah, at least got to buy me dinner first. And then he'll just kind of laugh and
And I uncomfortably stare at him and say nothing.
And he'll kind of go, okay, well, if there's anything else you guys need, I'm here to help.
I'm still staring at him.
And he looks over at Tybalt and Vox and Ebrath, and he's like, have you been over to Gallios, huh? He's been kind of stuck in there for a while. He's locked himself in. He's real busy over there, huh? I mean, what else is new with you guys? Just trying to like be like awkwardly get away from like the awkwardness of Gone. Just trying to like make small talk now to like change the subject.
And yeah, whatever sort of conversation pops up, Gon will start to walk away. But
always like shoot that.
Unfortunately, the awkwardness continues, and just for whatever reason, Gon is kind of like locked into this mode, and so he kind of starts walking away. And as he's walking away, his movement seems robotic, kind of like a Skyrim, Morrowind, Oblivion
like
NPC.
like...
Yeah, just fucking. But as he's doing that, he's still looking at him. until eventually like he like moves into a chair but doesn't move it out of the way and just like you just I take the chair with me and so I'm walking and you just hear and then eventually make my way back to the wall and just lean back there.
Yeah, and as he's trying to like just like change the subject, he's like, "Oh, that crazy Galileo been locked up in his tower for weeks now. Sergeant says he doesn't let anyone up on the top floor anymore, and strange lights have been seen from his windows at night."
What do people say he's working on?
Oh, well, who knows what that crazy man is up to? He's a bit of a kook, but ever since the tower has been rebuilt, it seems like he is deep in his studies and very very focused on his task at hand. I'm not quite sure what he's working on. I would prefer not to speak to him, to be quite honest with you. He's quite ghastly, but yeah, I mean, he very rarely comes out now, and um, now that the tower is secure, the soldiers don't go in quite as often as they used to, and even when they do, they are kind of shunned out, you might say.
Is there someone who's been delivering his necessities?
Well, he will call for supplies, food, water, those things, but he's a bit set in his ways, and when he has his mind set on something, it's hard to break his concentration. And so we do our part and send somebody to check in on him and bring him his meals, because sometimes he forgets to ask. He's quite old in that way.
I see. Yes, well, hopefully we can get him out of his zone that he's been working in.
And he says, "Well, I mean, I know you guys have helped him in the past, so if you have any need for any sort of spell casting or arcane research, I think he would be your guy."
We are in need of that. Thank
Well,
you.
maybe you will be able to break him from um his uh fixation on whatever it is he's working on.
Perhaps we will.
All right. And he says, "I will leave you to it then. And if you need any more refills or any more bread, just reach out to me. I must attend to my other patrons here."
Can we get some food and drink to go? We'll take a delivery with us.
And he says, "Oh, Tybalt, I love how chivalrous you are." And then he like looks over awkwardly at Gon.
And Gon is like ready to take a step forward.
And he's
But,
like,
like,
"Okay,
isn't
well,
he
I'll
just-
have that right out for you."
And then he'll go back to leaning on
Yeah.
the wall.
Tybalt's like, "No flirting on my watch." I mean, sorry, Gon. And with that, yeah, he like bundles up some some meat for you, some slices of bread, like a small like thing of wine to go. And yeah, that's it. These are
Are there as we're sitting around and having a drink, are there any interesting conversations that Tibble can pick up on?
yeah, you are yeah, I would definitely say that one of the tables kind of near you, it has a couple of folks who are look like they are might be like dock workers of sorts. They kind of have a bit of a like fishy, like salty smell to them. And they are kind of just wearing like some like overalls, and like they're bundled up almost as if they're like work in the cold. And yeah, you hear them kind of talking amongst themselves, saying something along the lines of how there are a couple pleasure barges just outside the marsh. Most likely city folk, but why have they stopped here in Leylon would be anybody's guess.
Pleasure barges?
Yeah,
Okay. Like ships? Like cruise ship type?
kind of, yeah.
Okay.
And one of the other ones says, yeah, it's so weird that they only ever really come out at night. It's kind of odd, but who knows what's happening there.
And they're docked outside of town?
Correct, yeah, outside the marsh, yeah.
That's the only conversation of note.
Yep.
Okay. Tib will just quietly drinks his ale while he's listening to the conversations, and he says to the group, once you've had your fill, we should pay the wizard a visit, take some supplies to him, see what the concern is from the townsfolk.
Some supplies to who?
To the wizard, to
To Galio.
Galio.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, great. Yeah. I think if you guys want to head over that way, we definitely can. Give me 1 second while I pull up that map.
So did we need to visit the? We should visit like the leaders of Leylon, right?
The council,
Yeah.
yeah, I think we do.
Yeah,
I
the
think we
council.
have to.
Okay.
Yeah, let's take a quick break real quick. I gotta take a quick bathroom break and then get a coffee refill. And
Be back around 12.
yeah, I think that's a good call.
Cool.
Okay.
I just took my break, so I'm just chilling.
Oh man. So what's up with you guys? What's up, Andre? You ready for your camping trip?
I'm hyped, man. Oh, I was just gonna say, I'll say it again when everyone's back, but let's over the next day or two try and fill out the menu.
Yeah.
Because Brianna,
I was thinking we might want to just, well, I don't know who's interested or whatever, but I was thinking maybe we do just like a quick call just to kind of get everybody on the same page. Because yeah, like different groups I've gone with all sort of end up handling food their own way, and I just I don't want. First of all, I don't want to be like caught off guard with anything, but like
yeah.
just making sure
Well,
that everybody has.
Well, if we have like 10 minutes after a session today, there's enough of us that are going that if
We
we
can
just
spread the word.
well, if we can just come to a consensus here and then just relay, like, I mean, obviously I'll tell my brother, he doesn't care. He's along for the ride.
Yeah.
Margarita will agree to whatever. And it's just because Bran is like like a very much a planning person like you are. And she's getting stressed that the menu's not filled out because she wants to assemble the shopping list already.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm kind of the same way. Like,
Yeah.
I
mean, because my plan is not to shop till that day, so none of us are traveling with groceries. But yeah, I agree. I want it to be like, let's try and iron it out. Like if we come to a consensus on how we're gonna assemble meals today, that way we can assemble a shopping list. She'll probably want to do it over the next day or two. That way it's set in stone. So like when we all get there, we assemble everything and we can decide who's running to the grocery store. I know I'm probably gonna go. and then whichever one of you guys wants to go, because I know Brianna's probably gonna want to stay with the baby. Because I was
Well,
thinking,
so here's the thing too. Like, I don't mind traveling with groceries. Usually, I'll end up having a little bit of space left that I can fit some shit in.
okay,
Um, yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it might be easiest if like we just have, whether it's me or whoever else, maybe get everything and then we just split the cost.
I have
Uh,
no problem with that.
Yeah, because I mean, the other thing is like we can just sort of have everybody bring a little bit of something. That usually works too, but in the end, it's like you end up having to take shit home because we don't eat
Yeah.
everything.
Well, because I was thinking, so the way we've done it in the past, like obviously whenever we go to like Big Bear and stuff, right? Like we come up with a list, we get there, a couple people go, one of them pays, and everyone just like sends the money to that one person. Because I think it's easier that way than, first of all, everyone bringing cash or whatever is always a fucking hassle.
Yeah,
Nobody really brings that much cash, right? It's just the way things are now, you know?
yeah,
So I was planning on putting it down on my card and then having whatever, you Zelle me or whatever, Um, but yeah, so because the way I was thinking, so obviously we're gonna have like dinner Friday night, right? I'm assuming we're probably all gonna grab lunch on the way or eat when we get there because we're gonna be like putting everything up that afternoon. I don't think we're gonna want to like be cooking lunch right after we assemble everything. We probably want to just relax for a little bit, make that dinner. Um, Saturday, Brandon had the idea of just doing like chorizo con papa and huevo like burritos, just something quick, high protein, because we're gonna be going to play disc golf right away.
yeah.
Come back, do something real easy for lunch, and that's gonna be the most of us because we're gonna have people that are hanging out for the day being there for lunch. So
Right.
like I'm thinking burgers, hot dogs, easy shit, right? Burgers, hot dogs, chips. We have sodas, drinks, whatever. That night, I'm not a big steak fan. So I was thinking for the people that are gonna be there for dinner, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I really like doing like some salmon or something.
Okay.
Um,
Totally do
so
that.
so yeah, I was thinking get like a couple slabs of salmon. Um, I know you were gonna bring like two different cooktops, right?
Yeah, so I was about to say that. So, like, in terms of cooking equipment, I think, like, I mean, I'm bringing everything I have because it is a
You're
big
the
group.
best equipped for sure.
So I have the grill's fairly big. I have a griddle that's like a good, like, 2 foot by 2 foot giant square. That's
That's gonna
like,
be perfect for breakfast
yeah. So that's
for
just like
sure.
a big,
And
anything that we
lunch.
yeah, if we need to like do tortillas or like anything that you would
Yeah.
use like a big flat top for, that's gonna be it. And then I also have a little 2 burner stove that I'm bringing, and I have 3 pots and pans with like lids and shit that I'm bringing. So like in terms of stuff to cook on,
We're good.
we're all set. I'm gonna bring a big thing of propane, and I'll bring some of my little tanks too, so we can just kind of have everything going at once if we need to.
Yeah. And
'Cause, yeah,
we were planning. Sorry, go ahead.
if there's about a dozen of us, like
Yeah.
I don't think any one thing is gonna be enough.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So that's
we'll just kind of have everything going all at once, and whoever
yes.
can help cook can just help keep an eye on shit.
Well, and that's what Brandon was like. So, like, am I cooking the whole time? And I was like, no.
No,
Like,
no,
if
no,
you
no.
wanna, I was like, just so you know. And I was like, I, I was like, I know Dave. Dave likes cooking
Yeah,
and will want to, at the very least, help with cooking. So it'll probably be whoever wants to help. Like, I don't mind cooking. If she's gonna cook, that means I'm on baby duty. But like, there's enough people there that there's gonna be multiple hands helping. It's not gonna be all on one person. That'll be the easy part. Um, so like if we want to do real easy, like for like I think the biggest thing that's gonna need the most prep is probably like that dinner for Saturday.
yeah, yeah. And I mean,
That,
that should be our big meal. I think that should be like the
yeah,
one we go all in.
yes, for sure. And then so we can figure out what we want to do that's easy Friday night, right? So Saturday I think is a good idea. Do the burritos. Lunch, we do just grill like hot dogs, burgers, stuff like that, right? That night, I think if we do salmon with like some baked potatoes and like green beans that we can throw on the grill, you know. With the salmon, we can do a couple different ways depending on what you think will be best on your cooktops. We can either foil wrap it and put it, or if you, I mean, honestly, with your grill, we could just marinate it and just throw it on the grill.
Yeah, so I have sort of a preferred recipe I like to follow for it.
Yeah.
I have this other thing that I'm gonna bring. It's funny because it is a camping device, but it's like a little metal cage. And so
Okay.
basically, with that, you know, we'll cut some slabs of salmon, we'll get them seasoned up, and then we close them up in the cage and put that on the grill. And
That's
that way
tight.
you can flip it
That's
easily
perfect.
and it
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
get
yeah.
stuck because like otherwise it'll get stuck to the grill and you're
Yeah.
ripping chunks of meat off. And but I will say too, and you know, just kind of keep this in mind for whoever ends up going and getting the stuff, but like skin on salmon is generally better for that because it
Yes,
keeps it together.
I love skin on salmon.
Yeah,
Like if I'm getting, obviously if I'm getting like pre-frozen, I always just go like whatever is available because it's, you know, whatever's easiest.
yeah,
If I'm making big amounts of salmon, I always like to go skin on for that reason because it's easier. If you leave a little bit of skin on like the foil or whatever your surface is, it's not that big of a deal. You're
right,
not losing the meat, right?
right.
Um, that's perfect. That's a kind it's totally in line with what I was thinking. Um, Also like thinking about dietary needs, right? Like Brianna can't really have red meat. You can't really have red meat that much.
Right.
I don't really care for red meat. Like I'll eat it if it's there, but like my preference is to do like chicken. I would rather do like salmon or some sort of fish. That's my preference.
Okay.
And then we could even throw some like baked potatoes, you know, like we could do something like that. And then like I said, like the vegetables. Sunday morning, I think we could easily do like some Bisquick instant pancake mix with some eggs and like some sausage or bacon or whatever. That'll be easy. Use your black top. Boom, boom,
Yeah,
boom. We're good.
that would be good.
And also we're gonna have the least amount of people. We're gonna have the least amount of people Friday night, Sunday morning.
Yeah,
Because we're gonna have more people during the day Saturday, and we don't know how many people are gonna stay to dinner as well, you know?
right.
Like,
Yeah, well, they close the gate at 5, so
right, no, but I'm saying like, yeah. But like, I mean, we're also gonna eat kind of, I'm assuming we're gonna eat like start cooking as soon as we get back from disc golf, which is gonna be what, like 1 o'clock at the latest, if we
yeah, well, that's
try
all
and
I'm
start at
saying.
9.
We want to try to get out to Prado to the disc golf course like as soon as we can, you know, once
Yeah,
everybody's up and like hopefully everybody doesn't sleep in all crazy. But if we can be out there, I'd say by like 9 o'clock at the latest, because it does
that's
get hot.
perfect.
It does
Yeah,
get a
that's,
little hot on that course, and like with all the moisture from the grass, you feel the humidity.
yeah.
Um, so we want to get out there sooner rather than later. But yeah, if we get out there around like let's just say 9 or 9:30, we'll be back around 1.
Even if we have the groups that we're gonna do, Edgar, I don't know if you saw from our disc golf group on Discord.
What's up?
So that Saturday is actually going to be like the inaugural, like for our disc golf like club. That's
Okay,
going to be the establishment of everyone's rank.
nice.
So we're going to have the most amount of people playing. And Ronnie had a really good idea, depending on how many people show up, splitting up in squads of 4 and starting
Mhm.
at different holes so that we're not all in one big group clumped together and having to wait for everybody.
Gotcha.
That way rate of play is much better. We can finish in a more timely manner. Either way, it's still going to take like 2 hours, but like 2 versus 4 if there's 10 of us playing. Because it's going to be everyone camping plus probably Carlos. Dave, you said your brother and cousin are probably coming out.
My brother might. He
Okay.
might.
And then so Carlos might come out, Mark might come out, and then Ramon should be there early enough to play. So like that's, I
Nice.
mean, yeah, so I think that's gonna be the biggest grouping of us all together, which is great because that's kind of what we need to set off the club anyway, is the most of us there to establish rankings. I was telling Ronnie, like, as long as we establish the rankings and we obviously can post it in our Discord, the tags and stuff can come later, you know, like we can
Yeah.
spend time on that.
Yeah.
I think it's better to just get it going now and we can go as we go, you know, like,
Right.
because the ideas we have for the group are fantastic, but it's kind of like a waiting game. Like, do we want to wait till till the stamp is ready, till the tags are ready? Like, we're just putting it off more and more when like, here's a good enough excuse for us all, a good amount of us to be together and start playing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I like the idea.
Yeah, I say we just fucking do it. Once we get the tags in, then whoever you get your ranked tag, let's do it. And then we start the rules. So also this week, let's focus on ironing out the rules. We have a pretty good idea of what they are. Like basic rules, mulligans 1 per 9, solid 1.9. It's not going to be in process this like on the big meetups because there's just not enough time. But like in general, let's say you're playing with like a squad of like a couple people. If you want to play a whole second throw, that's fine. That doesn't count, right? Like there's no like rethrowing unless you're using your 1 mulligan per that 9. Ron
We're
and I were
playing
talking.
9.
We're gonna
9
play
holes?
18 actually.
18. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna play a full 18. I think whenever we do these meetups, we should be playing an 18. Like, and we haven't
Okay.
decided if we're gonna do annually or semi-annually. I think semi-annually is cool. Try and do it twice a year to restructure everyone's ranks. And then you can try and do your challenges in between those, you know? Well, I mean, we'll see how it goes this year, you know? Everyone lives so far apart and everyone's schedules are different. I say at the very least, let's plan on doing this, try and doing it semi-annually and then see if that works for everybody. But like, let's say we're playing like a little challenge thing, but there's like 4 of us. If whoever's not a part of the challenge wants to throw their secondary fucking line, that's fine, but that doesn't count towards your score, right? Obstacles, I think kind of Ronnie was saying was within reason. You can get your step out. If one full step out isn't enough, then you agree with your group. Cool, like, oh, this guy can take 2 steps or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, as long as it's within reason and everyone in the group is agreeing upon it, we're fine.
Yeah, I'm back.
Like, we're not professionals. Yeah, I was just going over the disc golf thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I heard you kind of talking about it a second ago. I was in the kitchen, but I do want to like kind of hash some of that stuff out. If you guys
Yes, I was saying we should do that this week.
I'll just say even after this, if you guys want.
So yeah, so I'm down. I was saying after this call, if we have like a good 10 minutes, we should go over food
Yeah,
stuff
that's what I
for
was thinking
camping.
too.
Well, we should go over food stuff for camping and also rules on disc golf.
Yeah.
All right. Let's set a hard stop then for D&D.
Yeah, hard stop for 2.
I don't think we're gonna go long today, so
Okay.
I don't think we need to go long today, at least. So
So do you want to do
Okay.
like try and hard stop 1:30 or something?
sure.
Okay, hard stop
All right.
1:30 and then we can reconvene maybe 20 minutes after the call for that
Yeah. So
for rules meeting and menu.
yeah. So all right. Yeah. Cool. We can address everything then. Perfect.
Cool.
So what was the plan going forward from here?
We gotta go talk to the council and then gonna go visit the wizard.
Okey-dokey.
So-
So I don't really have like a map for like the council. There's no like council hall or anything. So
Yeah, I was gonna ask that. Like, is there like where do they all have their meetings?
So like previously they used to have meetings in the settlers camp, and that's just south of town. But now that
The camp's nice again.
the town is being rebuilt, yeah, we can say that they
I was gonna say it looks dope now, man. Compared to like the fucking ramshackle bullshit.
yeah. That was
They did a lot of work in a month.
part of the
It looks like this. This is Leland.
Yeah, this is fucking straight up. Damn, that's so cool.
wait, what?
Does his background. He was like, it looks like this.
Yeah, I looked at
Oh
I
yeah,
looked
yeah,
for
yeah.
like Leylon art, and this is like a depiction of what Leylon would look like.
That's cool. Yeah. Dude, that's something I want to get. So like the guy that like I get all the maps from, he does like AI generated like landscape art like that, but like only on the newer maps, and like because like this module is so old, like he doesn't have all of them.
Yeah, and there isn't much art
Yeah.
out there on Google, anyways. I'm sure there's
Yeah. So yeah, so you guys make your way over to the like town center, and you hear a very loud booming voice kind of barking orders at workers, yelling at them for not moving fast enough, yelling at them for like, why are they going that way when you should be going that way, you fucking idiot. Like, this is why things don't get done around here. And you make your way kind of through the crowd and get a little bit closer to the source of the noise, and you see a small dwarf woman that you recognize to be Griselda, and she is berating her staff, essentially, kind of just trying to whip them into shape and get them on track. She kind of tells them, we're an hour behind and we've only got a couple hours of daylight left. Let's get a move on and things like that. How do you guys approach her?
Um, we'll
Who are we
say
approaching?
Griselda, the town, fucking the head of the town. Say, hey, just wave real quick. Walking kind of like in line with Tybalt, and I'm assuming we're all kind of walking in line. Say, hey, I don't know if you remember us, but we did a couple of quests for your town. We wanted to just touch base with you and um give you the information that we have after accomplishing everything.
And she says, yes. How have you guys been?
Oh, we've been through it, saving a lot of your people, actually.
I've heard quite the tale around here. You folks are quite the popular bunch of sorts.
And Airbrath will kind of have like this wry smile on his wry smirk on his face, and kind of shoot a quick glance at Gon, and like, now that we've had time to think about it, we'll chuckle a little bit and say, yeah, we heard. I understand that you were going to be looking the other way as far as our infamy for the time being.
She says, well, that depends on you. What are you doing about it?
I mean, haven't we done enough for Leylon to garner a little bit of respect and help around here?
That you have, but you also can't be putting our town in danger. I mean, we're just getting these things rebuilt. I mean, we're still got a lot of work to do.
Oh no, by no means are we planning on putting your town in danger. Leylon is going to be staunchly under our protection, especially because, as I'm sure you're aware, this is been officially declared our base of operations. So no harm will befall Leylon while we are here.
She says, yeah. I got you guys set up on the north side of town. We got a real nice little estate for you folks, and I think it'll be much to your liking. But like I said, I got kids at home I got to feed. All my workers, they've got kids at home they've got to feed. We got to keep the town's best interest in mind and can't be having you guys bringing unwanted attention this way. So I need you guys to cut the shit and get your shit together and not be wanted, okay?
And Edrath will kind of just close his eyes and like bristle at her words and kind of just fucking woo-saw it away and look up at Gon and be like, Gon, you might want to take point on this.
What is it you propose?
Well, what I propose is we got a lot of shit to do. How can I help you folks? Did you guys take care of that goat thing?
It sounded like a goat.
What was that?
Oh,
That was a baby.
Who's this guy?
Spider-Man.
Oh my god! I literally thought it was Edgar doing the like
No,
soundboard
no.
with the sound.
No,
of
it was him making that noise at Frankie to try and get by him.
Fools that
Look at him.
Ah.
Yeah.
She took out the little muscles.
So
Oh,
baby.
it looks good.
Mm.
He just wake up on his own. Nice.
Was he trying to be Tobey Maguire?
He's trying to be.
Or-
He's just trying to be.
Garfield.
He's trying to be from Spidey and His Amazing Friends.
Oh, is that like a show?
Who plays
Yeah,
that?
it's-
It's
It's a little kid show.
who's the voice
Mm.
actor for that? Is it a new guy?
It is the new guy. It's the one that has Fall Out Boy doing the theme song.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's literally his fucking favorite show.
I'll lean back to the group and say, go problem.
Goat thing is handled.
We've delivered the goats safely. They've been they were quite tasty.
Tasty. Must be nice. All right. Well, settle up back over at the office. We'll get you guys paid and see if there's anything else we got for you guys. In the meantime, I think you can just kind of hang out, get settled into your villa. What else you guys working on?
Well-
We felt the need to inform you that people were being sacrificed at the wayside inn. We don't have the full story yet, but we're hoping you have some information. Do you have any idea why they may have been sacrificing people at the wayside?
Wayside Inn. That's outside of town. That's not my problem.
Well, it becomes a problem once the problem starts to crawl into this town, doesn't it?
Well, that's what we have you folk for.
Well, we'll gladly
So
oblige
Buddy
as long
Ebrath
as we
here
can get
just
the.
said that Leyland's directly under your protection. So what do you guys need to protect it?
Well, what do you have? What can you offer?
Well, to be quite honest with you, I'm a problem solver. You give me a problem, I'll do what I can to solve it.
I know what we can use your help with.
More
Actually.
direction from the.
One, we're already helping enrich your town by. I mean, look at the new construction. None of this would have been possible without us doing what we did for your town. That's
Just says, I don't see your hands with very much dirt on them. These men work hard.
I'll step forward and say, and they work hard and they've been under uninterrupted work time. Why is that?
She says, because they're good workers. That's why. Because I whip them into shape.
Well, I'd also say that protection for those workers and them being able to work a steady job without any interruption to the town is in the hands of us as well. I'd say that should be in consideration. Right, guys?
Yeah. We appreciate all that you do.
Our hands are dirty, just in a different way.
All right, I'll cut you some slack on that one because you're pretty.
Well, that's much appreciated, but well, we're looking to get some help here. As you said, we both have an issue with our faces being plastered everywhere, and while we do have a few helpful hands for appearances and all, we were wondering if it would be possible to get a little help, a little extra extra hand with keeping us undercover, under wraps, so to speak.
She says, yeah, I understand. Look, a few of us got together and she looks over at Tybalt. She says, your friend Marigold thought it would be best if we took the posters down, and to be quite honest, I agreed. I don't think it's a good look for Leyland to have wanted posters up that are going to draw so much attention. So we took those down for you. We're going to keep them down as long as we can, but you know, these rumors start spreading and people get talking. I can't guarantee your complete safety, but we'll do what we can.
Did you
You know
happen to
that-
see who's putting the posters up?
No, it seems to be some privately hired goons of the Tyrellians. They sneak in at night, put the posters up when everyone's asleep, and somebody tried to make a big scene over at the Umber Hulk Shell Inn, but Aeon drove them out right away. It's going to get tougher and tougher to keep that up, though.
Yeah, I'm aware. My family's bags are pretty deep.
Well, they can help out with some of this reconstruction costs because it ain't cheap.
No, I gotcha. Lumber mill costs rising, dangers increasing too.
Yeah, I mean, if you
I'll
have
tell you this though.
if you have a
we're-
line in on that Neverwinter Wood lumber, I mean, that would be tremendous. This stuff's costing me an arm and a leg.
Gun will ponder for a moment, and you know, anybody who has even the smallest number of perception could see this. And after a moment, Gon will look back and say, okay, I think I have a contact. I'll see what I can do about that.
Give me a history check.
That is a 19.
19, very nice. With a 19, you absolutely remember that Tribor, the new leader of Phandalin, was originally running a lumber fucking company, and was under attack in the Neverwinter Woods at their campsite
Mhm.
from one of the cults. And
Tribor?
Tribor, yeah. Vox, give me a history check as well, please.
Can I help him?
In what way?
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't know. Okay, never mind. I can't help him. I'll just look for a flash of brilliance if he needs it.
16.
Cool, that's good enough. You'll remember that lumber camp is where you found that buried
Effigy.
what is it called? The fucking little like statue that you found?
It was like an effigy.
Oh,
Yeah.
totem. I
Oh,
had a little
effigy.
Totem, that's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
Boar, right?
Mm-hmm. It wasn't. Was it a boar? I know it led us to the boar.
That's
It was a totem of the like cult of
Talos.
Talos of some sort. I don't remember what the exact look was, but yeah, essentially that's what I was trying to get at, was that it was that same connection. So yeah, so sorry, you were saying, Con?
Yeah, I'll say yeah, I'll think I have a contact for that. I'll let you know. I'll put them in contact with you as soon as I can.
She says, well, that would be great if you want to just get one of your guys to get a message off. I mean, that would be tremendous.
Absolutely.
So
And I'll see if I can find, I don't know, like a commoner of folk in the town. Real quick, just like whistle over one, just see a kid walking by or something.
yeah, they come running over and they're just like, what's up? How can I help you?
Hey, how'd you like to make a couple coins, gold?
Oh, gold. I can buy so much candy with that. Sure, what do you want, mister?
I'll say, go ahead, message Tribor, let them know that there's a opportunity of work here in where are we?
Leylon.
Leylon. In Leylon. Get in touch with what's that name again?
Tribal.
Make sure you get in
Tribor
contact with
and Phandalin,
Tribor and Phandalin. Make sure they get in contact. And you make sure they send this note to him ASAP, all right? And I'll give him a gold and I'll say, here, get started, and once you send it, come find me. I'll give you the other piece.
Oh boy, mister, I'll be right out on my way. Thank you so much.
All right. And I'll look back and say, well, I'll getting that done ASAP. Also, we do appreciate you taking down those posters from the town. I guess I should also let you know that, well, my family's pockets run deep, so do their schemes. And truth be told, this just looks like one of those. If you really think they're going to pay this much money for each of our heads, unfortunately, you've fallen under their trick already. But just a heads up in case anybody tries to get a little desperate for cash. That gold, it's enticing, but it's a scam. You won't see any of that gold, and truth be told, you probably won't see much of your life after you turn us in.
And she says, well, gone. To be honest with you, I recognize that. I know that the town could use the gold, but our guys, we're hardworking people, and we don't just take the easy way out. And I know that would be best for the town and the easiest way to get these things done. But I think there is a sense of community that comes along with hard work, and I think it's important for these townsfolk to see their hard work in action and seeing the fruits of their own labors. I find that it helps with boosting the morale and gives them a little bit of ownership to the town here, and that way we have a bit of a community for ourselves, not just a handout that we received from somebody else. So as enticing as it might seem to most people, I see the value. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word. I see the value in the long-term haul of this reconstruction project, and I don't mind getting help where I can, but I recognize that for what it is. And like I said, we'll do our best to keep you guys safe here in town. Just try your best not to cause too much of a ruckus elsewhere, and we'll do what we can to keep you protected.
And I'll say, I understand the town built on the hands of your community. It's worth its own weight in gold. And you know what? Even with that sort of commitment that you have to your people and your people to the town, we appreciate you wanting to protect us as well. If I could ask just one thing, I think, and I look back at the group and say, if there's anything you all want, you all are needing at the moment, let me know. I can pass it over. Seems like we're in good hands, even now.
Oh, Dawn, if you could tell them about maybe getting the Tiga's anvil and maybe some of her equipment over to the blacksmith. That'd be perfect.
Ah, yes. Wayside Inn, wasn't that correct?
Yeah, the Wayside Inn.
Look at Cass.
Yeah, this little
So-
table, she uses it more than anybody to just use it as a perch. It's a little
I love
side
her.
table.
I love her little regal fucking stance, just like
Yeah.
She's a fucking
Good, man.
metiche, bro.
Mhm.
She's
What's going
always
on
trying
down
to be
there?
like in everybody's business outside.
She's like,
She's like, yo,
who
who's in
got-
the pool though?
She's like, who called the cops? What's up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll look back and I'll go, oh yes, down the road, to the south, there's an inn. Should be mostly innocent if there are any left, but there's an anvil there and a few blacksmithing tools. I think it could definitely be used for your town here, but in general, we also have a few items needing to be built that require that anvil. I don't know if you have any guys free, some more adventurers who would be able to travel down south But getting that anvil and the supplies from that blacksmith would be ideal, especially for your town.
She says, "All right, I'll see what I can do. I'll talk to Braltora and have her arrange something for that smithy, and then um, we'll get it done. You know, give us some time, and we'll take care of that for you."
Thank you. We appreciate that. And yeah, I think that blacksmithing items you find down there will be good for making further tools for your guys here. Make sure you all get enough equipment, shovels, picks, axes that can definitely be built and used with those anvils.
She says, "Absolutely."
And-
And this-
Evrath will pipe up and be like, "Oh, and also like from what I'm helping Briltora with, like she'll be able to make much better weapons and armor for you guys. Like you guys will be the best equipped town, short of fucking Waterdeep."
Well, I think Sergeant Yoram will be glad to hear that. He's always looking for new ways to bolster his men. We appreciate that.
And I'll look to Gon and say, "Did you mention the wizarding circle? Maybe he needs help."
The what? The wizarding circle?
Yeah, like the teleportation circle I have built.
Where's that?
We're trying to have it built in a wizard tower.
Okay. Last thing I think there's a wizarding tower. I'm not sure if there's a conjurer of sorts in town, or maybe somebody that out of town. But it would be ideal for this place to have a what is it? A conjuring circle?
It's a teleportation circle.
A teleportation circle in the wizarding tower.
She says, "Well, I think you can speak to Gallio about that. He's been kind of locked away in his tower of sorts, and I do think that is something he might be able to help you with. However, he's been very entrenched in his studies lately and keeps going on and on about some magic stone and other planes. It's a little bit above my understanding and pay grade, so I think you guys are more equipped for that. I would definitely stop by and see him."
And you said Gallio is the man to speak about this?
Yeah. Gallio, he's the wizard up there that's in charge of that tower now, and he seems to be working on some new research. He says it'll be a tremendous help to the town, but I don't quite understand any of that sort of things. I think you might be able to make a little bit more sense of it than I could.
And I'll look back at the group and I'll nod. And then I'll turn back and say, we'll see what we can do. We'll see if we can add it to the list.
Thank you, Gon. Is there anything you guys need from me? Anything I can help you with?
There's one important point of order we haven't discussed. At least I don't think we've discussed. We worked out a deal with the lizard folk.
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
fuck. That's
um,
right.
We
Holy shit.
are well aware they are assisting with the safety along the high road there. What is the deal that you struck with them? Give me a little bit more information.
We let them do their thing in their area and we leave them alone in return for them leaving us alone. They're not as bloodthirsty and savage as we originally thought. We actually broke bread with them and sat in on their festivities and their childbearing for festivities, for lack of a better term.
Childbirth. What kind of what?
Yeah, there's a whole hatching ceremony. It got a little weird, but we're at peace. And it turns out there were actually some trolls and a hydra that was really the main cause of concern. But we helped them with their problem. They released Jessup. He'll have more details if you'd like to get them from him. We don't have time to go into everything here, but Jessup will have some of the additional details, and just know that they're not out for our blood. They don't hate humans. They just need the opportunity and the freedom to function within their own environment, and they won't be causing us any harm. At least that's the agreement.
And she says, yeah, Sergeant Yoram has kind of debriefed us, and they seem to be working alongside the lizard folk south of town and keeping the roads safe. And we're establishing a bit of a trade route or deal with them. They are so far working alongside our men and hopefully maintaining that relationship. I do know that they are Yoram is using them as sort of scouts for things south of town and keeping an eye on the high road between here and Waterdeep. He might have more information for you in that regard, but it seems to be all the treaty is well established now, and they're working alongside us, and we're keeping them engaged. So thank you for all of that.
I ask that you preserve that relationship. There will come a time where we'll probably need them. And this is just one on a large pile of things we've helped with at the town here, Griselda. I understand you have a job to do, but I expect a little more hospitality when we come around after everything we've done for you all. The list goes on and on. We've done more for this town than I think anybody has.
She says, well, if you want hospitality, you can get your ass over to the inn, okay? I got work to do here, and I appreciate what you do, but I'm not going to just bow down to you and give you all sorts of smiles. That's just not who I am, okay? So if you want some hospitality, go talk to Aelion. I bet he would love to talk to you.
Griselda, that's we're not trying to infringe upon what you're doing with this town, what you have done for this town, and we're not trying to diminish what you've done to establish Leylon. Don't mistake us.
Oh, there's no mistake. This is just how I talk.
Okay, great. Perfect. And Vox is correct. We have done a lot for your town. We will continue to do more for your town. Like I said, this is our base of operations now.
I'll address Vox and Ebrathan and say, gentlemen, I think we've established pretty well with Griselda already what we've been able to do with the town, and in turn, she has done some things for us as well. Moving forward, is there anything else we need?
I just wanted to make one little suggestion to her in regards to the lizard people.
Yeah. What is it?
I know your treaty. You've been working in conjunction with each other, and you developed a trade agreement. I would suggest, being that we can't be here at all times, maybe that treaty form into an alliance at some point, so that were you to be attacked and we are not here, and maybe we can't, obviously we're trying to establish a teleportation circle so we can come at a moment's notice.
Says, well, you know who's good at coming at a moment's notice? My ex-husband.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. And then you see Ebrath just fucking blush.
I'll look
Does
at
that-
Griselda and
that
I'll say,
mean-
Griselda, please, let's save it for the tavern, the
Griselda,
hospitality.
please.
Remember?
Does that mean on command? Is it a good thing
That's
or a
kind
bad
of
thing?
impressive. On command is impressive. If we're talking just, what are we talking about?
All I know is, this was just
And what does Griselda look like?
She's just a very stout dwarven woman.
Is she thick or is she just stout?
I mean, thick in the way that dwarves are,
She have a beard.
She got a fat ass.
Oh, for sure.
Okay,
yeah.
got it. But does she have a beard? As Vox,
I believe all dwarven women have beards. So
is that true?
I think so.
No,
In
I
The
don't think
Witcher-
that's true.
In The Witcher, dwarves,
Yeah, but that's different.
they all
In
look like male
Faerun,
dwarves.
in Faerun, they don't.
I
In
believe
Lord of the
so.
Rings, in Lord of the Rings, Gimli does make a joke that all women do have whatever. Anyway, I was like, okay, that's besides my point. My point is, I would suggest establishing a little bit more than a treaty, establishing maybe an alliance so that if you are in need, they come to your aid, and vice versa. If they are in need, your militia goes to their aid. You guys are very close by, much closer to each other than Waterdeep is to either one of you.
Yeah, real quick, it does say 5e does make explicit allowances for the existence of bearded female dwarves.
The existence of them, not saying that they
Yeah, yeah,
all.
yeah.
Not all of
Listing
them,
them
though.
as an example
Yeah,
of a
it's,
character with
But
non-standard
Griselda
gender
does
expression.
have a beard. Is that what you're saying?
No, she doesn't.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm sure
Yeah,
she could grow one though, right?
Yeah, like on command.
If she
yeah,
wanted
you can
to.
see. Yeah,
On
yeah, yeah.
command.
She just fucking goes, and it just comes out.
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
tell her she can't, and then she'll just flex.
She
real hard.
immediately grows one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that's just all I'm saying is we can't always be here. I know your militia is going to be much better equipped in the future than it ever has before, but should you need aid and we are not available, they're good allies to have. And vice versa. I think you guys would both benefit from that alliance. That's it. That's all I have to say.
She says, yeah, like I said, speak to Sergeant Yorm about anything militia related. He's the head of that command, and we'll do what we can. The lizard folks have been very cooperative.
Okay.
So I don't think there's any concern there in that regard.
Okay. And I'll look back to Gon and be like, that's all I meant. I just nothing crazy. That's it.
And she says,
I
now,
say
is there anything
I
else you guys need from me? I mean, how can I help you?
You're a busy woman.
We-
I don't think we need to take up more of your time unless Tibble has something.
There's one final thing. Emmylou is in town. She was part of the workers that were bringing you supplies because of the storm. They were held back, but Emmylou pressed on. You should talk to her about
Emma who?
Emmylou.
Emma Lou. Okay, where is she at?
She is staying at the inn. She's resting after the journey.
Okay, because yeah, we are late on some lumber deliveries. I know there was some bad weather recently, but I don't know who's afraid of some bad weather. That's just beyond me. People are afraid to get wet nowadays, and sometimes we just got to do what we got to do to get things done.
Well, the storm was caused by the storm lord, so there was more danger than just a storm.
Well, you tell that Stormlord if he has a problem, he can come see me about it.
And I'll point at the ocean and say, walk over there and tell him yourself. I'm sure he'll be happy to hear that.
And she says, oh, well, he knows where to find me if he needs me.
Be careful what you wish for. But thank you for all the information.
Of course. Thank you guys for all that you do. If there's anything else, I would recommend speaking with Sergeant Yoram if you have any matters regarding the militia, anything magical or of arcane origin. Galileo would be your point of contact. Anything with the oceans and traveling by sea, Valdi Estepar, down in the fishery. Aside from that, you can come to me with any requests you might have or things you need help with. I'll get it done.
Thank you, ma'am. Think that'll be all.
Thank you as well. You have a good day.
Okay. We should probably talk to
Galileo?
Valdi.
Oh,
Galileo
okay.
for sure, but Valdi with
Okay.
matters concerning getting us to where we need to go.
And also, I think we should check out our base of operations and see what we're working with in case there's anything we need. As we're going
Yeah.
around town, we might be able to find resources or stuff we need there.
What are we doing first? Are we seeing Valdi first? What are we doing?
We should go talk to Galio. He is.
Okay, Galio first.
Yeah.
Okay. Down with that.
Hold on. Let's go to Valdi first.
Mhm.
All right.
Just because I have that map prepared.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I think I have a token for her too, actually.
For who?
For Valdi Estepar.
Wait, who is this?
She is the woman who is in charge of the like fishery and like boating, like sea stuff, navy, I guess.
Oh, so she's like in charge of like the wharf.
She's in charge of like the docks, yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Wharf.
Arf.
Wharf.
Yo, Edgar,
Yo.
have you tried fucking the Happy Dad seltzers?
Are those? Can you find them anywhere?
So I've only seen them out here at Total Wine and this one liquor store in Palm Desert. Yo, honestly, probably the best tasting seltzers I've ever had. I had the grape ones and it just tastes like slightly watered down grape soda.
I
That's good
actually
too.
had, I think that one. I had one at that
It's good.
random concert we went to in the park, Ronnie.
Oh, really?
Dude, it was
When
good,
Saul
right?
went.
You like
Happy
it?
Yeah, it was
Dad
good.
seltzer.
Yeah, so apparently so like they're like a big brand, like they sponsor a bunch of podcasters, which I had just seen them through. And I had them last weekend and I was like, damn, these are fucking fire.
Or
Sorry, Ronnie, go ahead.
No, you're good.
or
I'm gonna have to redo this map, but cool. Yeah, so you guys are over here now. And you find yourselves in front of Valdi Estepar. She is a half-elf woman, put in charge of the docks by Lord Neverwinter, and is working hard to get things reestablished. Being a bit of a port city, Leylon is not like on the ocean directly, but there's like the marsh that kind of connects them to the sea. And so she's kind of in charge of, all the fishing operations, all the trade that comes in from like some of the barges and receiving, supplies from ships and things like that. Let me see.
Tybalt will look at turn to Vox and say, we should find safe passage to the next location on the map. You're better at navigation than I am, so I trust that you can speak with Valdi and get the details we need.
I think she's gonna have a lot of useful information for us.
Cool. Yeah, you guys enter into the like the dock office here, and you see Valdi sitting here kind of going over some like paperwork and some invoices. She's got like a big calendar in front of her where she's trying to like organize like deliveries and shipments and things like that. As the door creaks open, she stops and turns and sees you, and she says, hello, how can I help you?
Nice to meet you. You must be Valdi. We have been told that you can help with some questions we have. We are the 9-9.
Yeah, no.
Night, night. And she says, "Yeah, of course. I mean, I will help you how I can. What can I do for you?"
Well, there are a couple of things. First off, is we overheard some rumblings about some pleasure barges that were docked outside of here. And there's some unusual activity in that. It seems things are only active at night. Like, can you tell me, and can we see them from here?
It's a little bit overcast today, but yes, there are some um, yachts of sorts that come in and like to uh, anchor out, just outside of the bog here, and it's the swamps don't allow for larger ships to enter, but this is a popular um, destination for some of these pleasure barges, as they are we're far enough away from the Neverwinter and Waterdeep that they can kind of enjoy the solitude of the ocean, and still be close enough to a local town to um, come into town and engage in um, those sorts of activities, as they see. But we don't have a ton of interaction with them. Obviously we're well aware of their presence, but we haven't had to um, engage with them very often. They don't really seem to be causing any stir for us at the time being.
How long have they been showing up?
Oh, periodically, not often. From time to time, like I said, these are cruises of sorts. The people pay a lot of money to um, go on and see the town and new sites that they don't normally see, and these come by, maybe once a month or so.
Have you noticed any? I know you mentioned they're not causing problems. I found it interesting that they're only active at night. Have you noticed anything unusual since they started showing up?
No, nothing out of the ordinary. I must say, like I said, we don't interact with them very often, and when we do, it's been pleasurable. I mean, no cause for concern that I can see.
Is there any kind of registry? Do you make them memorialize their visit?
No, no. Like I said, the ships don't come into our docks. They're much too big for our docks here, and when people do come in, it's usually just a few travelers coming in to get supplies. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Okay. Oh, that I guess takes care of that. Moving on to our second matter here. I pull out the map again, and similar to how we showed Aelion, the dangerous area, the difficult water area, we need a way to get here and navigate through. I understand this is a lot to ask for, but it's very important that we can get in. Are you able to offer any solutions here? Do you have a crew or any special equipment to help us get through?
And she looks down at the map. She says, "Oh, well, Vox Aslan, this is a very dangerous area, very hard to traverse. It would take a very, very skilled sailor to navigate these waters. They're very um, turbulent waters, and the waves are strong, and the tide is very strong, and the waves are very powerful. They crash alongside the cliffside there, and there are many jagged rocks that are hard to navigate. I don't I don't have anybody here that could do that, but if you give me time, I might be able to get in touch with somebody that could.
Okay. How much time do you think you need?
Well, they are sailors, so we would have to find them and get message out to them. But I think if you give me about 2 to 3 weeks, I could possibly conjure up a potential guide for you to navigate you to these waters, this area. However, like I said, I would be very careful. This is not a safe area. Many sailors have talked about ships going missing and the storms being violent and capsizing boats. If it were me, I would avoid this area at all costs, but I'm sure you have your reasons.
I do. Thank you. I'll check back with you in some time. Like there was one other thing. Have you heard any rumors about a child that can control the waves and the lightning?
There's a child that can control waves and lightning.
It's just a rumor.
No, not of a child. I have heard tales of a sailor who is very powerful magic user who can seemingly control the storms at her behest. But nothing of a child.
Fair enough. Any rumors of this sailor having any children?
Not that I have heard, unfortunately. I'm sorry.
Well, thank you for your help. We'll be checking back with you in some time here. Do you guys have anything else?
I'm good. Anybody else?
Nothing.
And she says, okay, well, if you would like, I will, like I said, give me a few weeks and I will have the method of transportation you require to get to this area. In the meantime, hang out around town and I will be in contact with you soon.
What, before we go, what kind of, what areas can you get us to by ship? What does that look like? Is it faster than land?
Well, traveling by sea is often much faster. You have the power of the wind in your sail, and depending on the ship itself, some ships are slower than others. Some are faster, some are larger, some are smaller. It's depending on the requirements. You might be able to arrange to get you somewhere local. If it's somewhere further you need to travel, it might be a larger barge that you would require, but I mean, we can get to most places here alongside the Sword Coast. Some of the local islands nearby, can take several weeks of travel, but we have had several trade routes established that bring us all across the oceans here. Why do you ask?
Getting kind of tired of traveling by land, if I'm being honest. There may be a time where we'll come and see what kind of options you have if there's somewhere we're going along the coast. I appreciate that.
Well, to be quite honest with you, the area that you're trying to reach is most attainable by see, the cliff sides there are very treacherous and not easily navigated, or and many people have met their end trying to rappel down the cliffside. And I think traveling by sea would be the best bet for you and your group. And I will reach out to my contacts and see what we can do as far as getting that taken care of for you.
It's a plan. All right, I think with that we head out. What's our next stop? Gallios?
Yes, sir. Give me 1 second here.
Did we figure out who Sylvandal is already? I
No.
don't think we did.
No, we haven't.
Yeah, I think you guys. Give me a history check.
14.
With a 14, you'll remember that on the letter that was attached to the glasses, it was from Sylvandal to his brother Bax.
Yeah, I remember that.
Got it. So we don't know who the brother is. We know Bax was the recipient.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we know that the glasses were coming from Sylvandal, but as far as like who he is outside of that, you're not sure. Oh, whack.
What happened?
This,
Oh, whack.
this map isn't what I thought it was. I'm kind of bummed about it. But let's see what we can do. Oh, that's a bummer. And okay. There is not what I wanted. Damn it. Okay. Well, I guess in the meantime, I'm gonna have to figure some things out. I think this would probably be a good stopping point.
Cool.
Okay.
Since
Do it.
I'm gonna have to do some things. Essentially, yeah, it's gonna take Valdi a couple weeks to get you transport to the Thunder Cliffs, and you guys can maintain or do what you guys need to do around town. Like we could say that in those 2 to 3 weeks, you guys spend time with Braltora and helping her with that
She gets our projects done.
project. Yeah, like I don't know how each of you guys would like to spend your downtime. Maybe even like studying with Talavar in his tower, and we'll get to him next session.
Yeah, I'd say Gon would be willing to help out. Is Braltor the dwarf lady?
Yeah, Braltora is the half orc blacksmith.
Oh, okay.
Griselda is the town.
Griselda is
Dwarf,
the town like project manager.
Got it. Yeah, I would be, well, Gon would be helping out Griselda and just being a part of her working crew, I guess.
Ooh,
Yeah, and I would even say
that's a
that
good idea.
Yeah, I would even say that that's kind of like a nice fit for you because like
You're her
you
face.
kind of have the connections, like you have
Yeah.
the connections, and like you I would imagine Gon is very resourceful in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, it's although Gon has like a want to be good, there's also that pragmatic side of him that's like, you know, if I help out these people, then they would be less inclined to turn me in for whatever reward is.
Yeah, totally,
Ooh,
absolutely.
yeah. Tight.
And so,
If I help out these people.
yeah. And
Hell
so,
yeah.
like, at the end, throughout the 3 weeks or whatever that you guys are waiting for this message from Valdi, how do you guys level up?
Fuck yeah.
No way.
Christ.
Okay.
Hold on, let me change my name real quick.
Not 9.
I'm gonna change mine too.
We gotta change mine.
Oh god.
Damn.
I was gonna
It's been like
say
a year.
It's not been a year. It's been like a couple months.
No, bro, it's been more than a couple months. It's been at least
He-
six.
Ronnie's
to
like, it
8
hasn't
months?
been a year. It's only been 11 months.
Yeah, exactly, Julio. You get me.
Bro, Julio, I loved your like fucking your little fucking like, but I fucking, you know, you gotta get that fucking gone in you.
hmm
Gotta.
So does Alien, you know what I'm saying?
Alien, no,
Mhm.
Alien wants Box to get his rocks up. That's it. He wants those rocks inside of him. Them, I don't know. We're unsure of.
Like I said, he is an equal opportunity lover.
Bro, when that fool was like, yo, I was like, I don't have a dick, and he was like, well, he was like, that's fine too.
So,
I gotta get the fuck out of here.
dude, I forgot how to level up.
Hey, where are
Um,
we playing next week again?
Prado.
Prado.
Okay, cool.
It's only what, like 10 minutes from the campground?
No, because the campground is apparently this huge fucking thing. It's like a 20 to 30 minute drive from our campsite to the
Oh
front gate.
shit!
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, dude. It's like it's
Is it
kind of
that
a
big?
fucking it's kind of a journey getting through there.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was that
But
big.
yeah, so no, it's but it's right across the street. That's the thing. So it's like up the I don't know if it's a 73 or what little freeway it is, but it's like across that freeway. So it's not far. It's just it's a crawl to get there.
Got it. Okay. Um, anyone want to talk about their level up experience?
Yeah, so what are you guys doing? I mean, I guess let's just whoever's ready to kick it off.
I was gonna say that I was gonna spend my weeks with
Sorry, let me
Marigold.
mute.
Yeah,
and
Marigold's the local cleric
and I would have spent the time just getting to know them more, and also studying how they perform rituals,
okay.
and also requested maybe like a book of rituals or something, so that Tibble can take it on the road.
Yeah, is there any like ritual in particular that you are like trying to learn or be more proficient in, or just kind of in general, like the act of like ritual casting and how to best
Just
utilize
in
it?
just in general, the act of ritual casting, because he's seen how some wizards have like all spells within their spell book that they can just swap in and out.
Mhm.
And he was trying to see if he could like look at have a book of rituals and sort of use that as a guide to ritually cast um, certain cleric spells.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he'll do that. And as he's doing that, he's getting more acquainted with his magical nature, and levels up.
Nice.
Yeah, sounds good.
Hell yeah.
What about Gon? What is Gon doing for his level up? Well, hold on. Sorry, going back to Tybalt. What do you get at level 9? And like, are you taking any new spells?
Oh, honestly, I don't get much. I just get a
I just kind of want to go over what each of you guys get. That way, we can all kind of just be on the same page as like our understanding of it.
Gotcha.
yeah. So at level 9, I don't get a cleric bonus or anything, but I believe I get an additional spell slot in let's see, 5th level. Yeah, I get a 5th level spell slot, right? Have I always had it?
Oh, and your proficiency goes up to 4 now, which is annoying as fuck. That's for all of you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have 4 cantrips, 4 first level, 2 level. Oh, you have 5th level spells for the first time.
Yeah.
Damn. You got some big boys.
So it's gonna be fun.
Damn, what are you thinking about taking? Have you thought about it or?
5th level? No, I haven't even thought about it. I get scrying, I think, just base. Always available.
What the fuck?
So you can cast that as a ritual.
No,
Oh, you can't. Okay.
but it's always prepared because because of my
Oh, got it.
my
Got it. It's
subclass.
got it. So you don't have to
Yep.
you don't have to waste a prepared spell on it.
Yeah.
It has its own slot. Got it. That's cool.
Damn it, that sucks.
I have there's a few cool things.
Yeah, and honestly, if you have any ideas as far as like your spells and stuff go, like you can just hit me up and we can kind of talk about it and work it out.
Yeah, sounds good.
What
Ooh, I
about you,
have
John? What are you doing?
spell called Gase, like Code Gase.
Code
Dude, hell
game.
yeah.
Dang. So during the downtime, Gon has been working hard, and has gained some more sturdiness just because he's been working and lifting and dropping and cutting lumber.
Mhm.
And out of this time, he had a lot of, I guess, added the sturdiness that he didn't have before. And during this time, Gon would have realized that having a more what's it called? A stronger,
Like a more robust body.
yeah, like having a stronger physical structure has led him uh to
Yeah.
feel more comfortable and be able to handle like the eldritch power that courses through him.
Is Gon
Um,
multi-classing into like fighter or barbarian or damn, what's going on here?
no, but there was like a little thing that was ongoing, like meta wise, I guess. But Gon was, he had his eldritch power, but just using it with the type of like body figure that he had was still drawing a lot of his strength to the point where it was becoming a little much. And so out of that, just because it's he was thinking like, oh, I have this strong power, but I can't even fully use it. I need to like work on myself. And so he kind of did in a non-direct way, or at least didn't know that. So when he realized, oh, like I've been working out pretty much, now I can hold this strength even further. And because he's able to hold the Eldritch strength further, he levels up.
Yeah.
Nice.
You get a new invocation as well.
That is correct.
Dude,
I have,
Nice.
you guys should see this list. It's fucking endless of
the
options.
invocations are crazy. There's a lot of invocations. They're like They do a lot.
Meta wise, I've been kind of like using a guide for my warlock,
Mm-hmm.
and ooh, and
Gon saw something shiny. He said, "Ooh."
one of the suggestions is for the what's it called for the evocation is Whispers of the Grave.
Oh, is that where you can like talk to dead people?
Yeah, you can cast Speak with the Dead at will without expanding a spell slot.
What is
That's
your subclass? The Great Old One, or the Fiend?
Uh,
You're the Fiend.
Fiend, yeah.
Where's the invocation?
Speak with Dead is so useful in BG3.
Bro,
Yeah.
dude, I just realized Shadowheart has it and I haven't been using it. I'm so fucking pissed.
Oh, really?
Well, I
There's-
didn't respec her till the beginning of Act 2, so that's my fault.
Oh, I see. I
She would
see.
have had it up until she would have had it at the end of Act 1 for me, and I didn't realize it.
You can get an amulet that has that, and you can cast it like I think once a day
Where?
in the crypts in
Uh,
Act 1.
Dude, okay, that's the spot I didn't go to because that's where
Yeah.
you meet Withers for the first time, huh?
Yes.
I
Yes.
never fucking did any of that. Bro, that's like you not fucking recruiting Astarion.
Yeah. He's
Right?
there. I got my group. I'm like, all right, these are my guys.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, you did that. I didn't do it. You like missed him, barely got Gale, and they're like right next to each other.
Yeah. Well, I got Gale, and I was like, wait, these guys are. I saw what was happening in the farmhouse, and I was like,
Oh
these
yeah,
guys
yeah,
are really high level. I need to not
yeah.
go this way.
You had like one follower.
Yeah.
Bro, that game is wild, bro. I love it.
It's great.
I'm doing some dope shit in Act 2 right now.
Yeah. Vox, what are you doing?
You're
I think
muted,
you're
Dave.
muted, dude.
God damn it. We've discussed this one at length. So I am taking another level in Blood Hunter, and Ronnie's agreed to allow me to do some modifications to the way that this is worded, only because of the type of damage that I do. But I will say during my downtime, I probably spend a lot more time in Galio's Tower, just trying to understand the link between the other realms that all sort of ported here at one point in time and my own weird connection to the swarm that is constantly around me and that I control. And I'd say that probably during one of those days of downtime, there is a breakthrough in that there's something that probably misfires in terms of the like portals, the teleportation and the things that were happening here previously. And at some point, my form and DNA get scrambled with one of my hornets. And so after this happens, I take some time to understand why and how it happened. And coming out of this, I am actually able to take my hybrid form, which will be basically a human-sized fucking gigantic hornet that lasts for an hour and gives me some nice bonuses to damage and different kinds of checks. I get some bonus AC out of it. The one thing is that it does have a bloodlust feature where if I fail to save, I might be attacking one of you guys. So
Okay.
yeah, that's something to keep in mind.
So you're gonna be
But,
like a humanoid-sized rock hornet?
Yeah, pretty much.
Shit.
Pretty much.
It's basically like your werewolf transformation, yeah.
Yeah,
That's fucking
so
tight.
lichen. So it's the order of the lichen transformation for the blood hunters. You get to pick at level 3. There's like what is this? 6 different forms. There's some really cool shit. I've looked at this for a long time because we've been level 8 for a year.
Shut up.
So there's like one where you can basically be like kind of like Geralt and use potions for a lot of shit. There's like these really specialized potions. And there's another one where you like specialize in hunting down ghosts and undead and stuff like that. And I don't even know what this profane soul one is. There's another one, but anyway, I'm taking Lycan, and so I get to do that once per day, and it lasts about an hour. So we'll see how that plays out in game.
Oh yeah.
I am probably going to revise my spells though. I haven't been able to touch them since the last time we leveled. So certain things here. Let me see. I don't know. I haven't looked at the spells all that much yet. But good chance I'll be changing something here. I have Healing Spirit, which I've been kind of toying with, but it heals like almost nothing. That's the thing.
Well, I mean, that would come in handy for like people that are doing death saves, because I mean, 1 HP is better than rolling death
Rough.
saves.
Yeah, it's rough.
It's true.
Welcome to healing in 5e.
Yeah.
Yeah, healing's not great. I mean, at least for me, because I didn't put enough points in like getting my spell casting modifier up and stuff like that.
What is your spellcasting modifier?
It's wisdom,
Oh,
but
okay.
it's like pretty low. I don't even know what I have right now. I'll check in a second, but I'm trying to finalize my spells over here.
Well, I mean, take your time, you know.
Yeah,
It all right now.
yeah, I may not finish this yet.
And then what about Ebrath? What is Ebrath taking?
So I don't get any new spells or anything, as Artificer is technically a half caster.
Mhm.
I don't get access to anything above a level 3 spell for a minute. I think maybe till next level, but in the downtime, he is spending all this time with Breltora in her smithy, helping her make sense of his chicken scratch notes, but also become confident in the way she's being able to assimilate her current knowledge with my theories and making those theories into reality. In doing that, and in also taking care of our projects and assisting with that, he, with her expertise and kind of having her as an assistant artificer, has done one of two things. One, his all-purpose tool in its arcane firearm form has now become more accurate, much more accurate, because now I'm at a plus 11 for the arcane firearm when I cast things like firebolt. So picture that as like,
You actually get a lot. You get the most from level 9 out of anybody else. You
what do you mean?
get a lot. Well, you gain Fireball and Windwall as or you're an artillerist, right?
Artillerist, yeah.
Yeah, so you gain Fireball and Windwall, and then you
Oh shit, I do. I didn't realize that it automatically put them in, because so when it doesn't ask me for, when I was doing my managed shit, it doesn't ask me, it just automatically puts it in my spell.
yeah,
yeah, you're right.
Your cannon is the damage rolls now at
Hold on,
D8.
hold on. Yeah, I'm getting there. I was coming up with a cool RP way of doing it.
Okay.
So in doing that, I've also been tinkering with my cannon and have found a way to enable it to be much more destructive. So I gain an extra D8 of damage with my arcane cannon. So
Mhm.
now when I hit, not only is my to hit better, my to hit is now a +9. It was a +8 before. So I get when I'm doing my firebolt with my arcane firearm, it's a +11. I still get my extra D8. But my arcane cannon, it's a +9 now, and I get I'm now hitting for 3d8 instead of 2 plus 5.
That's crazy.
On top of that, thank you, Ronnie, DM. I do now gain the capability of performing Fireball and Wind Wall as my 3rd level spells.
Yeah. Your cannon also, you can now actually explode your cannon to do a like
Correct.
AoE.
So I can also use my cannon. So I'm going to say, looking through my notes, I have now realized that as long as my cannon is within 60 feet of me, I can have it detonate, self-destruct, and cause that same amount of damage in force damage. On top of that, my spell saves have gotten better. They are now at a spell save 19.
God damn.
Yeah, that's really good.
And you guys wonder why
Yeah.
you guys have been level 8 for a year.
Yo, my spell saves are fucking nasty now, bro. They're all, I'm sure Tybalt's are now too, but like all my shit's at 19 now. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I looked at a lot of shit with my build, but I decided to take the tankiest approach because like we don't have a tank. So
Yeah.
it really limits me, but it's like fuck, somebody's got to do it.
Question, Ronnie.
Mhm.
Is there the possibility of respecking should we gain another party member?
No.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Just asking. I don't even know what the fuck Windwall does.
It creates a wall win.
50 feet
It
long, 15
is-
feet high, 1 foot thick.
Yeah. A wall of strong wind rises from the ground at a point you chose within your range. You can make a wall
Ooh,
50 feet long or
3d8
50 feet
bludgeoning
high.
damage.
The wall
Dang,
lasts-
fireball does hella damage. What the fuck?
Yeah, bro. You remember when I got double fireballed?
Where
Yeah.
were you like 3 levels ago?
Yeah.
Well, now we
Yeah.
now we can do a triple, bro. Let's make it happen.
Gone. He's an artificer. Okay, it takes him a while. He's got to
It
read
takes me-
books.
I can snipe. That's pretty much it. But I
Mhm.
can snipe for free. I can just do 3d8 plus 5 for freezies. So that's basically what I'm doing. I'm pouring all of my attention into. That's kind of an aside. I'm pouring all of my attention into
Yo, this is kind of
teaching
cool. Though.
Braltora.
It says the strong wind keeps fog, smoke, and other gases at bay. Small or smaller flying creatures or objects can't pass through the wall. Loose, lightweight materials brought into the wall fly upwards. Arrows, bolts, and other ordinary projectiles launched at targets behind the wall are deflected upwards and automatically miss. Boulders hurled by giants or siege engines and similar projectiles are unaffected. Creatures in gaseous form can't pass through it. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, it's pretty tight. It's definitely useful in utility as well
Yeah.
as having damage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that's the other thing is like most of my spells that I don't take utility in, just I don't do it because it's like they have no damage and like they're like a very niche use. That
Mhm.
one I can actually do decent damage and then there's good utility on top of it. But yeah, so that's kind of gonna be it. I'll say as I level as well, my glamour is affected in a way that I don't anticipate. I now look a little bit older than I now look closer to prime Zeta White than like a young man.
Got it. Yeah.
I look more like I'm in my like early 40s than I did before. When I first met the group, I looked like a 20-year. I mean, obviously not 20-year-old because it's a gnome, but like, you know, I now look like I'm an 80-year-old gnome instead of a 40-year-old gnome.
Like Doc Holliday when he's like, not me, I'm in my prime.
Yeah, exactly. I don't look sickly, but I look like, you know, I have, you know, some crow's feet, some laugh lines, all that stuff.
Mhm.
Obviously my hair stays white, but yeah. And it's something that I probably wouldn't even realize until I see myself in a mirror or something.
Got it. Yeah, cool. All right, guys. Well, I think that's a good stopping point for today as far as D&D goes. You guys finally
Hell yeah.
leveled up.
Let's fucking go.
And we will have some new adventures to get into very soon.
Cool.
So